What about?
Oh, I spoke to her dad.
Yes.
So
She called. He said they weren't getting any treatment.
She had stage 4 stomach cancer?
yeah. So if you want to follow up, I'll get on. Let me know.
They're letting her out? He wanted her to let out, right?
Right.
Are you teasing us?
Major League Baseball to cancel the Field of Dreams game in Iowa. Trevor Ault, ABC News.
Working from home is driving up the worst type of cybercrime, home title theft. We're doing it all from home now, right? Working, banking, video conferencing, meal deliveries, and shopping. Cyber criminals are targeting our home.
And then we have a sleaze brigade.
They can get by taking out votes against your home. The crime is called home title theft, and the FBI is warning homeowners. Home title lock is how you protect your home from cyber thieves. Your home's legal title is online, where they find it and forge your signature stating you sold your home to them. Then they take out loans on your home and leave you in debt. Banks, insurance, and basic identity theft services do not protect you. Home Title Lock does, with a virtual barrier around your home's title. Protect your home now. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you're already a victim. And use code NEWS for 30 free days of protection to help you through this crisis. That's code NEWS at HometitleLock.com.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
K-How News Time, 10:03.
Colorado Congressman Ken Buck has a wish list for the next coronavirus stimulus package. He says it's important to help small businesses, but also strategize how to help those who've gone without a job.
We have to also make sure that we don't disincentivize work by giving those unemployed individuals more money on unemployment than they would make if they went back to work.
Buck says it's important to get the economy rolling again, but in a safe manner. Charges are being filed in connection with a shooting during a protest in Aurora last month. Prosecutors say Samuel Young is facing 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder and other charges in that case. He's accused of opening fire after a vehicle drove through the demonstration on I-225 on July 25th. 2 people in the crowd were hurt by the gunfire. Demonstrators calling for justice for Elijah McClain. In sports, the Rockies back at it again tonight against the Giants' first pitch.
Hey Doc, what Elijah McClain? You know what was that?
Say it again?
That Elijah McClain.
Elijah McClain?
Yeah. What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, he's in Denver. Okay.
What?
Aurora approached. Yeah, it's a shooting and stuff.
Through the heart of the city. Let's go outside of town. Their road work is continuing today on eastbound I-76 at Highway 52. It's shut down at Highway 52, and once again today, traffic is being taken on and off the highway right there at that Hudson exit for their construction, so watch out for the delays. Back in town, got a wreck being cleared westbound Dry Creek Road at Willow Way. That's west of Yosemite.
Oh, they shot him full. Who and called first and then put him in a carotid hold. What is that?
What's that?
Oh, this Elijah McClain and stuff. That's where Aurora police officers, they say, use excessive force.
When?
Last year. Oh, this is what so that's like, it's like a chokehold, carotid hold. Must have that. God, Google's amazing. What you can find.
All right, gentlemen, it's Ant. You're on in about a minute.
Gotcha, Ant.
Because of American financing, they offer 10-year, 13-year, 18-year loans. Really, any term you need, it truly is a custom loan. You choose the term based on your budget, and they'll pay.
Hey, Tom.
Yo, yeah.
The most affordable.
Hey, can you see if is Mark on access 3? Like, I know Suzanne was on 5 yesterday. I'm trying to see if he switched back to 3.
Mark is not here today.
No, and neither will Suzanne.
Suzanne and Mark are both out.
Mortgage payments.
Oh, okay, cool.
You'll have to put up with me and Dan today, and
Starting now by calling
30 seconds.
7000. That's 303-695-7000 or AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Need a new roof? Go with a sure thing. ExcelRoofing.com.
It's your chance to win.
you getting some purple underwear, Tom?
What's that?
I said, were you getting some purple underwear?
200.
Oh no, I'm reading Household Hacks,
All right.
and it was talking about things that we, it's little, it's talk every, it's just going through something.
I know what household acts are.
No, so that,
Have you ever heard of household hacks? You know, things that are there and you don't know why, and you always wondered why, and some of them are obvious, some of them are not. The one that made it around the internet a lot is, you know, the little arrow on the gas gauge showing you which side the tank is on. Like if you rent a car and you're running out of gas, there's a little tiny triangle on the left or right side of the gas gauge, and that shows you where the cap is. Anyway, that's the idea of little things people see but never and wonder what they are. Anyway, I love talking about stuff. This is the Consumer Show, so we talk about everything. We mostly, though, solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make referrals, and all you have to do is call. Here's the number, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Get your calls in now. And many times we have full lines you can't get through. Other times we have open lines, and I'll always let you know when a line is available, okay? So I asked yesterday for, and by the way, I hope you know this, and I'm serious when I say this. I am not a political animal. I'm not. I don't try to convince my listeners how to vote or how to act, or what to like and what not to like. If you want to talk about the true meaning of diversity, it's this show. I mean, honest to God, we help everyone with everything. Now, however, I do like discussing ideas, and one of the things came up over the weekend. I saw this video. Now, I didn't realize these videos have been they were posted since January, okay? It's not new, but they're gaining some traction by a group called Represent.us. That's a website. And by the way, I am not part of it. I don't know if I'll ever be a part of it. But I brought it up because I said the video was interesting. Many celebrities have made videos. Jennifer Lawrence is one that's getting a lot of traction. And I asked people to take a look at it on YouTube. You know, search Represent.us, search Jennifer Lawrence and see what you think. That's all I ask. See what you think. I mean, they talk about government corruption. They don't really pinpoint it. They just say, you know, campaign finance and lobbyists, and how when 80 or 90% of the people are in favor of legislation, it's only got a 30% chance of passing. They talk about how lobbyists, however, can get things through, even if people hate the idea. And the case they're trying to make is that our government really doesn't represent us, but represents big money and special interests. By the way, they claim they're not liberal, they're not conservative, but they have a coalition of people. Again, I'm not hawking this. I am asking if you've seen it and what you think of it. One guy went and looked at it. Thank you. He took the time to look at it and wrote to me. And he said, Tom, I wonder if you were just testing your audience. What did he say? I went there to the website, played the video, and at the end of the video, he said she went to Jennifer Lawrence's. I'm trying to find what he said originally. He said that the whole thing is basically a liberal plot. He says they don't pinpoint. I'm trying to find his original email, doggone it, and I can't find it. He gave some good thought, and I hate to represent him in such brevity right now, but I can't. Oh, here it is. Okay. He said this: I hope you weren't just testing your audience, your listeners, by saying the Represent Us intent is not political. I didn't say that. What I said was that the video appears to be nonpartisan, and they're preaching that they're nonpartisan. Okay? I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm not part of it. Now, see, if Mark was here, this is where he'd chime in and say, why do you love that video? You know, because I just mentioned it, right? And I'm just kidding, but we always argue like that. This guy's email says the entire video is set up on a false premise of corruption in government, but it never goes on to describe what that corruption is. Well, I think it does. It talks about lobbyists. It talks about campaign finance and how people with money get what they want through, and people who don't. And also it talks about how career politicians have made a living there and how unfair it is to incumbents have an unfair advantage and new people can't get in there. And really, if you think about it, look at all the creeps that are career politicians on both sides of the aisle, right? And would it be a good idea if they couldn't run? Can a congressman run the rest of their lives? They can, right? There's no limit. No limit. A president's only 2 terms. Can you imagine if Congress, first of all, you make Congress a certain amount of time, maybe 4 years or 3 years, and make 2 terms. 5 years, 1 term, 6 years, 1 term, maybe, who knows? Look, all I'm saying is that this thing seemed to make sense. But this guy goes on to say, Jennifer Lawrence, okay, she makes a point to state 25% of the population is liberal, and it cannot change the corruption in American government. It indicates to me that her initiatives are centered with liberal policies. No, she said 25% of the population is liberal. She said over 30%. They quoted each one. They said liberal, conservative, and independent. Most people identify as independent. The next one was conservative, and then a minority was liberal. So I don't get what you're saying, Larry. She did quote all 3. Then he says, however, if you go back and listen closely, Jennifer Lawrence's narrative, she refers to big corporations and billionaires as being the problem, although she never defined the problem. I think she did. Influence over lobbyists and politicians with campaign finance. They say that they cater to people who finance their campaigns. I think it's pretty obvious. I'm not saying that you're incorrect. It could be a big liberal conspiracy. Who the hell knows? But then it says, but if you listen closely to what she says, she's referencing Citizens United versus Federal Election Commission, where corporations are allowed to use private funds for political campaign messages. This is widely criticized by Democrats and liberals. So that's why he thinks this is a liberal plot. I could go on, but one does not have to look any further than the end of the video to see where represent.us directs the viewer to go for more information, feeltheburn.com. I swear to God I looked at this, and I never saw a reference to Feel the Burn, which is, by the way, Bernie Sanders, B-E-R-N, feeltheburn.com. I didn't see any reference to him. Now, remember what I'm saying. I am not promoting represent.us. I am saying it was interesting and seemed to be altruistic to me. I wanted to get your take on it. But I am not saying that you should follow this thing. But please, if you get a chance, go to YouTube, search Jennifer Lawrence, represent.us, and then tell me what you think. I tell you that all the time. That doesn't mean I'm taking a stand on it. It means I want to discuss it. See, most talk show hosts make their living taking a stand. That's what they do. And they're supposed to. That's what their show is. I really politically don't do that here, and I'll tell you why. I don't need to. I'm helping you with consumer issues. And everyone can agree no one should be ripped off, lied to, or cheated, right? That's why this show transcends all that crap. But I still want to talk about movements, the economy, and everything like that. For example, real estate values are plummeting all over the country. All over the country. They say commercial real estate will never rebound. Now, you can blame that on COVID, but in essence, you know what that is? People got used to a new norm, and corporations are saying, wait a minute. Our people are working just fine at home. Why the hell do we have to pay for commercial space and have them all come to our office? They're seeing a new norm. What things do you think will never go back to normal? That's what I want to know. Plus, of course, I'll talk about any problem, question, or complaint, and I will help you solve those problems. 303-713-TALK, or you can call 303-MARTINO. Okay, Brian, what do you have to say about street signs that we may have never noticed? Go ahead, sir.
Sure. Okay, you know the informational signs that are over highways, they're green, and they tell you your exit's coming.
Yes.
If you notice on top of those signs, there's usually exit 1, 2, 3, whatever. Right?
Yes, that's right.
Have you ever noticed how they're placed on top of that bigger sign?
I think if they're placed on the left, it's a left exit, and if they're placed on the right, it's a right exit. Am I right?
That is correct, and not too many people know that.
You're right. And did you know that main east-west highways are odd and north and south are, wait, what am I saying? No, maybe I'm saying it's just the opposite. I'm sorry, east-west are even, right? And north-south are odd. So if it's Highway 1, it goes north and south. Highway 66 goes east and west. I love stuff like that. And there was a talk show host in Denver years ago, and she was all over the country.
You got to break in a little bit.
She did a stint in Denver called Raleigh James, and she made it a point of knowing everything there was about road trips around America. Like, for example, if you see one that says 495 or 295 or like we have 470, that means it's 470 means that it is a loop that starts and ends on 70. 470. If it's 225, it's a half loop that starts on 25. So if it was 270, that 270. Anyway, there are weird things about highways. Thanks, Brian. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. More coming right up.
Clear. 15 seconds till Joe Lazera.
Of course I knew that.
You knew about the east-west and north-south, right?
Right. Streets are north-south, avenues northwest, east-west.
There you go.
Avenues and roads.
30 years now. 800-362-8370 or drhi.com.
The art of granite. Oh man, do I love the art of granite. Why? Because you can get all your materials wholesale, you can get countertops in just 2 weeks, and get this, you can get prices on the phone. That's really the message. First of all, tear out and haul away is free. Okay, now you may say everybody does that free. Not really. It's all figured into the job. He doesn't even figure it in. They do the bathroom free when you do the kitchen, and guess that, right, all wholesale materials. He's a direct stone importer. And you get a price on the phone, 303-386-5919. Try them out. You will love theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919. Someone else you'll love, and I hope you never meet him. Guess what I'm going to say? A criminal defense attorney. You know, it's pretty damn obvious. We don't want to hire a defense attorney because we don't want to be charged. And many times we are charged. If we're not guilty, we're charged if we are guilty. We made a mistake. There could be extenuating circumstances. I'm talking about DUI, shoplifting, assault, neighbor versus neighbor, whatever the hell it is. Restraining orders, you name it. We have a nasty, nasty part of us in society. These things happen, all right? If you need someone to help you, Joe Lazera. In fact, stay out of trouble if you can. He's not going to judge you. He will defend you. Not everyone accused is guilty. 303-429-6200. Flat rate pricing on everything. You'll know the price up front and it won't change. That's Joseph A. Lazera. You might have to refer him to somebody. That's 2 Z's and 1 R. Lazera. Legal.com. 303-429-6200.
Hi, Brian here.
Thank you, man.
Mud Jack. I've been lifting sinking concrete across the front range for over
I am in major pain today, brothers. Major pain.
Tom?
Yes.
303
KK Exteriors. We put them on the sleep brigade. They got 24 grand from this guy. I haven't done anything. So I've tried.
Did you pick this up off the show?
No, this is somebody that called in last week.
Okay, we need to talk about it.
Yeah. Highest level ever.
And I need to find a photo of some kind.
Now may be the best time.
Who is this for? Which one is this?
KK Exteriors.
K and K. I remember them. I remember that.
24 grand from this guy.
Can't get a hold of them.
And I've called them, texted them.
All without having to borrow the money now. We can show you how to access your equity in these uncertain times, to give you peace of mind and allow you to focus on what's important, your family.
You know, as far as the hacks, as far as on directions, you know, so this is on the north side should be even house numbers.
It is always.
Right. Well, rule of thumb, they do say. And on the west side is even for streets. So, I mean, that's...
Do you know when you're flying? Do you know when you're flying?
I bet you learn a lot.
No, when you're flying and you're not on radar, people don't realize this, but when you're flying east, you always fly odd numbers and west even numbers.
I mean, flights?
Yes, that's why you don't crash.
I thought it was just different altitudes.
Well, okay, if you're assigned an altitude, that's different. That's IFR, but they still assign you. So it's odds even. Wait, east-west. So if you're flying east, if you're flying in the east quadrant, okay, that's from whatever 359 to 91 degrees, anywhere in that direction, you're flying odd numbers. And if you're flying this way, you're flying even numbers. That's VFR. If you're IFR, it's odd plus 500, and IFR that way is even plus 500.
You mean the altitude?
Yes. They're always going to be like that. So you'll never cross each other. So if somebody's coming in your direction and they're doing it properly,
it won't matter.
That's right.
So it's always 1,000 feet separation, right?
Yes. If you are 3,000 feet AGL. If you're not 3,000 feet AGL, then it's all VFR.
What does AGL mean?
Above ground. If you're not 3,000 feet, odds and evens don't count. Because like helicopters and stuff, that doesn't count.
Well, this guy says Colfax Avenue is the longest commercial street in the U.S.
It is.
What is? Colfax. That's right. That's right. That's right. I want you to tell me all of this shit that you're getting at.
This is Dave Porter on...
Did I say, East is odd. The commercial aircraft, so-called IFR flight, will always be on odd flight levels.
See, when I took driver's ed, they never told anything. Of course, I lived in the country.
Told you what?
We didn't... About streets and avenues, directions.
But it's only above...
Didn't matter.
Well, you should. I mean, that helps in your direction.
Did you say something, Ben?
That has nothing to do with your driving test.
Okay, thanks.
Well, yeah, it does, because if you're trying to look for an address and stuff, it helps
lower
you.
than the
I know, but I think they should. They should.
Why?
I think because it's knowledgeable, because you don't know where you are and you're lost, you're looking around. That alone is a distraction.
Back about 5 seconds.
To me, anyway.
Now it doesn't matter whether you have GPS.
That's right. In fact, I would say most kids.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Now, I don't know if I buy this, people, but you know the tabs on cans that you flip? You know the can. Okay, you got it right here. You see the flip tab? You see the hole in the tab? Now, I was thought that's so you could hold it better. The tab. Okay, so you got a tab on the top of the can, and then on the end of it, there's a hole in it, right? There's a hole. That's, you know what they say it's for? They say you flip it around, and it holds your straw. Now, is that really true?
Yes. Otherwise, the straw, when you try to put a straw in, it like bounces out because of the carbonation.
Okay. Now, speaking of holes in things, do you know why there's a hole in the end of a panhandle? Of course you do, Daphne. You are like the Martha Stewart of the Troubleshooter Network. In fact, you're better than Martha Stewart. Oh, my God, what she did for my father-in-law. He is going nuts over that stuff. She sent him some nut bread and stuff, and oh, my.
And my cookies. My
I know, your gooey cookies. Listen, here's what I wanted to say. Do you know what the hole is on the end of the pan?
You think
you
hang
don't.
It? I don't.
It holds the spoon. You put the handle of the wooden spoon in there.
Yes,
and
I did know that.
But, you know, a lot of people don't use wood. That's all I use. I will use nothing else. By the way, let's keep going. 303-713-TALK. Julie, what's going on in your life? If you guys know some hacks, and they're not really hacks, they're trivia plus hacks, whatever, let us know. Okay? Julie, what's going on?
So my mom died February 15th. We went to Olinger Highland Mortuary to have her funeral services done and have her buried there.
By the way, was this sudden, Julie?
It was just 6 months ago.
Was it sudden, or was she sick for a long time?
She was sick.
The reason I asked that, is it true or not? I found in my case, my mom was sick and she was frail and she was going. So it wasn't as much a shock as, you know, all of a sudden they fall down the stairs or something. That's why I asked. It's really otherwise none of my business. But my sympathies to you. What is happening now? What can we do for you?
Well, so we went to Olinger's.
Yeah.
We had all her funeral services. We had her buried there because she bought the plot next to my dad.
And just so people know, almost all funeral homes, I just want to make this clear, are bought by giant corporations. Olinger's is no longer that family anymore. The only reason I'm saying that, because a lot of people want local, and they think that's local, and it's not. I do want to say, I have no relation to this guy whatsoever, but John Horan and McConaty is one of the few, I believe, who's still local. Okay, keep going. Go ahead.
Okay, so we sat down for many hours and picked everything out, blah, blah, blah. And we picked out what her, the plaque, the nameplate you know, on the piece of granite, what it's supposed to say. We picked out the design. They had us fill out a form, da-da-da. So have her funeral. This is all over and done with. They said, oh, it'll take a couple weeks to get her name plaque. And we said, or a couple of months. We were like, okay. So I've been going up to her gravesite ever since February 29th. Her name is still not on there.
Now,
so we've been calling.
Is it just plain? Does it have to be etched, or is there no stone at all, or what is it?
No, she bought the stone to be extended because my dad's name is on one side of it.
But there is a stone on there, right? Is there one stone, and it was supposed to be a double?
It is. It's a double stone, but the other side of it is blank.
Okay, now, does it have a plaque, or are they going to etch the stone itself?
No, it's a plaque.
Okay, and they haven't done the plaque yet?
No.
And you paid for it?
We paid for all this.
Okay, you know what?
We had to pay for everything.
Let's just get this done. What the heck is going on? It's been since February. Now, COVID could have something to do with it. What did they say? What's the latest word you heard?
Well, so I finally called,
so what's the latest? Let's just go right to that. What did they say?
The latest they have told us now is that it hasn't been approved, and once it's approved,
what do they mean approved? What do they prove?
That's what we asked.
What is your mom a gangsta? You're going to have something written on there that's inappropriate? What the hell do they mean? What, in loving memory of mom? What did you put on there that was controversial?
No, just loving mother and grandmother.
Oh, my God. We got to approve that one, Julie. That sounds pretty damn dangerous to me.
Yeah, and they did tell us, oh, well, you should have had 2 other appointments to get the image approved and everything. And we're like,
oh, what image is it? What image is it?
Now?
What image is it?
We don't know.
Okay. Deputy Doc, listen. Deputy Doc is all over this. Now, speaking of Deputy Doc, we got a Deputy Doc B. Is that too confusing? Should I call him something else? I wanted to call him the... Oh, we should, Deputy Doc says, no, let's call him something else. I want to call him... How about just Deputy B? Deputy B. Okay. Is he on our chat yet? I don't know if he signed in, but...
He is signed in. I'm talking to him.
Excellent. Tell him to call on this. Let's give it to him, Olinger, and find out where the hell. Give him Julie's number, and let's let him work on this, and we can get him on. And Deputy Doc, it's not you're the only Doc in our hearts right now. He's retired Doc as well. He's a retired chiropractor, and of course, not an MD. Not that it matters. We all need a little bit of everything. What were you going to say, Deputy Doc?
No, I got 2 follow-ups for you.
Let's do one quick one.
Okay. Ray's daughter was in jail with stage 4 stomach cancer. He was trying to get her out on compassionate relief and get her some medical care. I tried the 4 different avenues and nothing worked. Ray, however, was calling the governor's office and finally got in touch with somebody at the governor's office. She's going to be released on the 18th. And she's going to get medical care.
Oh, my God. Thank you. That's good. That is good. That is good. Listen, Deputy Doc tried to help, and he did give him, places to call. So we all joined in this effort, although it ended up that Dad got it done. This is wonderful. And you got to give Jared Polis's office some kudos for that. Now, I know a lot of people do not like him. I like him. I like our governor. I don't know. Please. This is not political. I'm talking as a person. I think he's a good guy. Anyway, did you know they tell me that the plastic caps on a paper cup that you get, I don't believe this, that they're supposed to double as a coaster. That's a lot of bull. Come on. You can't use the Starbucks cover for a coaster. Anyway, that's what they say. I don't know if I believe that. Give me some hacks or trivia. And what about...
Tom, have you seen the lines on the red Solo cups?
The lines on the red Solo cups? Yes,
the lines on the red Solo cups.
What are they for?
The bottom one is supposed to be where you fill up alcohol to, and then you're supposed to top it off up to the other line with a soda or your chosen mixer.
Leave it to Ants to know about this one. Okay, Ants. Well, thank you. It'll save me some trouble. We got more coming up.
Clear. 1 minute to the Rocky Mountain Retro.
This is Denver's Talk
station.
Listen to ants teaching us all how to drink.
Yeah, the first line's a shot, then it goes like 6 ounce per wine.
Hey, Dad.
Now, impact traffic.
Dad, do you know? Oh, okay. The reason I put that note up about Miranda would be a good lead.
Going through downtown, traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
It's gonna be wide open from our back.
She said he's in semi-retirement.
Oh, well, who took over for him?
76 looking good traffic.
I'm not sure. When she gets off.
Are they? Find out if they're still local too. Maybe they're not. Maybe I misspoke.
Today for road.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
The way being taken on and off the highway via the on and off ramps there. The weather forecast. Well, it's going to be a chance of afternoon thunderstorms again today with a high of 91. Right now, partly cloudy and 75. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K-How.
We're about 15 seconds, so Rocky Mountain Road.
Pros personalized offers, purchase tracking, and business management tools. Sign up today at lowesforpros.com/pro-loyalty. One more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Terms and conditions apply. U.S. only.
If you don't call this place today, I really don't know what's wrong with you. And I'm serious now. If you have an older home, 10, 20, 30 years old, call Rocky Mountain Retrofoam. Just call them for a free estimate on getting new insulation. You know, most likely you have inadequate insulation. You can keep your home cooler and warmer depending on the season. And you can get the best insulation. It's a foam that goes into the wall from outside. It doesn't disrupt your living space. And it fills every single nook and cranny. It pushes all the old insulation out of the way. It covers wires and pipes. It never gets hard. It's not a spray. It's not a hard foam. It stays pliable. It's wonderful stuff. They will also do an energy audit first if you want for just $175 to see what you need. Maybe you just need to caulk or do other things. They'll give you money-saving ideas right off the bat. You're definitely going to save $175 by spending $175. Then if you need this foam, you will love it. Go to this website, foamyourwalls.com.
The Dailies are the podcast from the world's smartest and funniest comics and writers. It gets you caught up on the news without grinding you down.
We could call him Deputy Doc Backcrack or Deputy Crackback. Backcrack.
Challenge. Live through all the history at once challenge.
Twice a day they tell you everything you need to know about American culture without crushing your soul. Listen to the Daily Zeitgeist on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to
That's a great word, zeitgeist.
Eventually you're going to need a plumber.
The Daily Zeitgeist. You know what zeitgeist is?
Great prices. I'm consumer advocate Mark Major. If you need a plumber, whether a pipe freezes, you need a toilet installed, or a drain unplugged, call Master Rooter Plumbing. They offer an array of discounts and they're great guys. 24/7 emergency service, 720-434-3406. Write it down, 720-434-3406. Or check them out at referral.
So we have to put up with Mark even though he's not here.
Too much? Is that beer or 2 after work turning into 6 or 8?
Be there tomorrow.
It's taking a toll on your liver and overall health. It's probably already affecting relationships and work performance. You thought about quitting, but don't want to attend those local meetings. And you know rehab is not for you.
I'm not an alcoholic. I just want to drink less.
Well, now there's a new way
You know,
to
Suzanne
get
is on,
without having to quit. Just get your life back. Life Back. That's Life BAC. Is an online doctor-supervised prescription program with medication that totally removes or significantly reduces cravings.
Hello? Hey, Suzanne, are you going to do it? I didn't know if you were going to do it today.
No, I can't because I have to leave for my pre-op, remember?
Okay, that's what I thought you'd said. So that I was just calling just to check in. I seen you were on the call.
Oh, yeah, I'm just getting some work done before I have to leave, but yeah.
Just wanted to make sure. Okie doke. Have a good. See ya. Okay. Bye.
When people can't pay for their funerals, they are buried here. It is a lonely, desolate place, littered with unmarked headstones. No one visits. No one leaves flowers. But it doesn't have to be that way. For as low as $1 a day, you can ensure your family will have the money to pay your funeral expenses. We offer burial insurance plans that pay up to $30,000. Considering the average funeral costs more than $10,000, that's peace of mind for your family. There are no medical exams. Your rates won't increase.
The Rockies are doing well, huh?
Yeah. They're first place. I think they won 3 in a row for the Padres.
Ensure your final resting place is more
It's so weird. If you watch any of the games, they have cutouts of people in the stands.
734-1225. That's 800-734-1225. Call now. 800-734-1225. When it comes to your mortgage, you know that a lower interest rate will help you save money in the long run. It can also lower your monthly payment immediately and help you build equity faster. It's true, and millions of homeowners can benefit now that mortgage rates are at or near the lowest in American history. So why not take advantage of a free mortgage review from American Financing? You can learn about new loan options that can save you up to $1,000 a month, maybe more. And you don't have to reset your loan term, meaning you're not paying for years you don't need. Best of all, there are never any upfront.
All right, Tom, you're back in 30 seconds.
Of any kind. So you truly have nothing to lose and so much to gain by spending just 10 minutes on the phone with one of their mortgage consultants. They're even open nights and weekends to fit your schedule, so give them a call at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
All right, 10 seconds, you're back.
Division of Real Estate.
ExcelRoofing.com, 303-761-6400.
Denver's talk station. Online at khout.com.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, so we're working on getting that Olinger's off the dime and getting that stuff done. Now, she needs that plaque for her mom's headstone. All right. Deputy Doc, you have another follow-up that I think is not good news, but we have to put these people's names out so people do not get scammed. And I want to remind everyone, 303-713-TALK. Call us now with help, information, referrals, hacks, or trivia. For example, I want you to tell me, why are there ridges on quarters and dimes? Why are there ridges on the edges? Deputy Doc, what follow-up?
Hey, we got a new candidate for the Sleeves Brigade, K&K Exteriors. Jeremy paid them $24,000 to do some exterior work on the roof and siding. He has not heard from them. He can't get in touch with them. They won't answer him. I've left multiple phone calls and texts, and they haven't gotten back to me either. So K&K Exteriors, Ken Cade, I'm nominating them for the Sleeves Brigade.
And what's his actual name?
Ken Cade, C-A-I-D.
Let's see if we can find a picture of him. Did we try already? They're in Strasburg. Did we already try to get a photo of this clown, I think? I'm not sure, but check sleevesbrigade.com. The worst of the worst go on there.
So he's my nomination for this week.
He doesn't call back?
Jeremy said he will not return.
Let's give his number out. No, let's give his number out so people will bomb it. I think we should let people know about lying fools and cheats and disgusting people. His name is Ken.
Bill is the one who's managing it. His number is 7.
No, who's Bill? Bill is the guy with the company. I don't want to give the consumer's number.
No, this is the guy with the company.
Bill is with where?
With K&K. He's the one who's been dealing with Jeremy. And his number
K&K, what? K&K?
Can't talk at the same time.
And K Exteriors.
I'm sorry. We're not supposed to talk at the same time. Just wait. K&K Exteriors. Give me that phone number.
720-633-7811 is for Bill, who's the project manager.
Okay, so people, what I'd like you to do is let them know you heard about him on the radio, and we are going to spread the word. This guy is a scumbag. K&K Exteriors and Bill and the whole lot of them. But Ken Cade is the boss man. Ken Cade. And that's the other guy. So we gotta really get to these guys. 730-633-7811. Ray, go ahead, Ray. What's going on, sir?
Yeah, it's the things on the quarters
and the dimes.
It's so they don't file the. They put them on there when they were all silver, so people wouldn't file the edges and take silver off of them.
Yeah, because they used to file them down a little because coins used to be valued by weight, so they would file them down and then make new coins. But I want to ask you something. Did you Google that? Tell the truth.
No, I didn't. I've known that for a long time.
Do you know any other interesting facts?
No, I'm the guy with the girl in jail.
Oh,
So,
hey!
I
Well,
wanna thank you
congratulations.
guys.
Hold on. Congratulations. You're getting your daughter back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in a way, I mean, she's has a terminal illness. Is she responding to treatment at all?
Well, they're giving her pain medications and doing a bunch of tests still. So hopefully, when she gets out, I'll take her to UC Health in Denver and find a good surgeon.
Okay. Thank you so much for chiming in and for calling us. Stay in touch, okay, and tell people about the show. 303-713-TALK. By the way, why are headrests removable from cars? Why are headrests removable from cars, people? Come on. You tell me. Now, I don't know if I believe some of this stuff, but they're going to tell us why they're removed. I mean, why they are. Whatever happened to SaferNet? Did he have to go? I mean, God, I can't get to these. Oh, he's going to come back on. Okay, good. And Rod is on for any specific reason or just to check in, Daphne? Do we have him to answer a question?
So at the end of the show yesterday, we had Bennett on who wanted an estimate for his car.
That's right.
And we thought we'd bring Rod up and see what his thoughts are.
Now, did he already research it, or are we just going to tell him about it now?
I think my notes I didn't have completed, but I gave him what I knew.
Okay.
It had 73,000 miles.
Now, hold on. No, it had 30. Wait. Are we talking about the Volkswagen? That was a Volkswagen with only 32,000 miles.
Oh, it was notes from a different one.
It was what year was it? 09? An 09 Beetle with an 09 Beetle, perfect condition, 32,000 miles. And we started looking them up, and I thought, man, that's going to be worth way more than what that book says. But unfortunately, I found it's not worth as much as I thought. But, man, it's like a new car. Now, what do you do when you find cherries like this, Rod? What do? You find something that's just beautiful. You don't necessarily – you shouldn't really – overpay, and they're not valued more necessarily. How are they treated? Let's just say that, Rod. Rod is with JFR Cars. Go ahead.
Hey, Tom. Here's a nice example. Picked up a lady who has a 1996 Cadillac with 20,000 miles.
Oh my God! A 96 with 20,000 miles?
Yeah, 20. Yeah, Cadillacs just are not worth very much, but you can find the right buyer. You can get a little bit more. So for a car like that, I'd put it on consignment for the customer if he's looking for all the money, and let's find that ideal customer who's looking for a real low Volkswagen and for their kid or for themselves even, and let's see what the market brings, because dollar-wise, they're just not very, they don't hold their value as the Cadillac.
I love that little Volkswagen, man, with only 32,000 miles. I thought that was incredible, but they're not worth that much. I've noticed. Even the ones with lower mileage, they're selling for around anywhere from 6 to 9.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But But let me ask you something.
From a dealer,
let me ask you something.
$5,000.
If somebody has a kid and they want to buy a car with 32,000 miles on it, this wouldn't be a bad deal. Are they reliable, or were these Beetles not? Am I just thinking nostalgia more than common sense? Are they good cars or not?
They're okay. Remember, any of the German cars will cost you out of pocket a little bit more maintenance.
Okay.
German cars are just not forgiving. The Asian cars tend to be a lot more forgiving. So you just have to stay up with maintenance on German cars.
All right. So I get what you're saying. What would you suggest for someone who wants to get their kid their first car, whether it's new or used, either one is open, but they want something sensible? What would you get?
I'm going to stay with sensible and cost value. I'm going to stay with your Hyundai and Kia and Hyundais and Mazdas. Those are the ones that I'm
because of the long-term warranties, right?
Exactly.
Front-wheel drive, Front-wheel drive, safety.
Right.
Yeah, all the good stuff. Okay,
all the good things.
So you would put that on consignment for Bennett.
How
do you guys work consignment?
We basically put them on about 33 websites. We basically do an inspection. We clean it up, make sure we get all the photos and get it up there for the customer, for the public to see, so that they can have the best opportunity to get all the money they can. Per se, if you traded it in, that car would probably be worth about $4,000. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how you look at it. You're asking for the public to get retail out of it, as opposed to, that car is so unique. I'm hoping that a kid will buy it and say, okay, low miles, and then get them going in an inexpensive, low miles, low maintenance kind of a vehicle.
Now, do you have any idea how do you charge? You charge a percentage?
We do. We that car would probably cost for us to sell probably about $1,000 for us to sell that for them on a retail basis. So our cost per se and their cost and us advertising it and us cleaning it up and doing the inspection, that's what our cost would be.
Okay, so whatever you sell it for, you just take $1,000?
Exactly.
Oh, so do you flat rate most of them, or do you do a percentage?
It's a percentage, but the car at that price level will be probably about $1,000.
Okay, all right, I see. All right, thank you. Now, by the way, this is Rod Greer. He's over at jfrcars.com. That's Juliet Foxtrot Romeo, jfrcars.com, 303-520-6839. We have more coming up, and if you have any hacks or trivia, let us know, or any consumer problems, give us a call.
Clear. About 1 minute till buy and build.
Bringing the country together.
You know what? That's not a bad deal. $1,000 to sell a car like that.
And on Twitter at 630 KHOW. Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
You're in good shape in the drive across the metro area freeway system. No new stalls or accidents being reported across town at this time. I-25, I-70 wide open through the heart of the city. No delays on the drive in 225 in Aurora. 6th Avenue is running smooth in Lakewood. Problem-free on 470 in Highlands Ranch. Trouble-free on the Turnpike. Traffic on I-76 heading out towards Hudson. Eastbound I-76 is closed again today at Highway 52 due to road work. Traffic being taken on and off the interstate there, so just watch out for the delays. The weather forecast. Well, going to be a chance of afternoon thunderstorms again today with a high of 91. Right now, partly cloudy and 75. With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
The Lowe's for...
All right, Tom, 10 seconds till buy and build.
Business management tools. Sign up today at lowesforpros.com/proloyalty. One more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Terms and conditions apply. U.S. only.
Buy and Build is open for business, and they can do curbside, they can do internet ordering and curbside pickup or delivery, or you can just go to the store. 560 South Lipan. It's a giant warehouse, and they can also do turnkey. Now, they have below wholesale pricing on anything kitchen and bath, like, the cabinets, vanities, granite countertops, sinks, faucets, and bath accessories. Now, if you want to send your contractor, do that. You can go for do-it-yourself, or they can handle it all with a turnkey project. Buyandbuild.net, 303-295-6022, 560 South Lipan. Now, estate planning is almost for everyone. I mean, if you own a home, look into it. You need MileHighEstatePlanning.com. Protect your legacy. Don't let things just go to chance. Seriously. Now, you might just need a will, maybe a trust. Maybe you want to avoid probate or not. If someone just died and you need help, you want to lower the cost of long-term health care. Blake Harris has a way to do that. Convenient appointments, nights and weekends even, and online or in person, whatever you need, he can do. Now, he will do a free initial consultation and go over it all with you. All of your options and price them out. That's all free. And then you decide if you want to hire him, and you should. We do here at the Troubleshooter Network. Blake Harris, MileHighEstatePlanning.com, 720-924-6171.
Is your garage there? Weird noises.
Hey, Doc, that K&K, he just wouldn't get back to you?
He wouldn't get back.
Even the main number, huh?
What?
Even the main number.
Well, he said to call Bill, who's the project manager and who's running the place. So I called him twice. There was another guy, Kenny, who was also working with them. I called him and left him a text message. He never got back to me either. And they haven't responded to Jeremy at all.
Because the reviews are not bad. They're not huge. There's a lot of them and stuff. But,
let's cover it. What's not?
so I finally got a hold of, remember that Jiffy Lube one where they left the plug out of the differential? I got a hold of the manager.
Oh, yeah, what happened?
His story is totally changed from what she had told him there.
Wait, you want to follow up?
Well, like say, now he wants me to call corporate. He wouldn't come on the radio.
Wait, but I want to at least follow up what you've done so far.
So if you're turning 65 or have questions,
He wouldn't come on.
But you talked to him. I want to know what he said.
Sure.
at 1-855-283-2836.
And he says, he has. Oh, that's right. Keys.
You know, I've learned that by now.
Damn it, you learn quick, Doc. I'm a little slower learner.
Deputy Doc didn't want Deputy Doc B. I don't blame him.
Too confusing.
I wanted to call him the adjuster.
How about we go deputy? How long?
I wanted to call him the adjuster.
Call him that. That's fine.
Because he's a chiropractor.
He
said no.
The crack. No, no. How about Deputy D?
That would work.
You be Deputy Doc. You be Deputy D.
Nah.
What's his name?
I got it written down somewhere. Let me.
Just call him Deputy whatever his name is.
Well, it is B something. I mean, hold on.
Just don't call him late for dinner.
That joke's older than you.
Hand sanitizer recall. There are certain hand sanitizers that have been outlawed.
Outlawed or just...
Well, you know what I mean.
They got methanol in them.
Yep.
It says most of them are from Mexico.
That's exactly right.
Mexico.
I want to find the list, though. There's a list.
Here, this guy sent some stuff. Oh, here somebody on YouTube said as far as the headrest.
Oh yeah, we'll do it on the air.
This is Valerie says.
Okay, hold on. She probably Googled it. Is this me? I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I asked why our headrest removable. Deputy Dan, what did they say? Come on, you got a comment on YouTube. Go ahead. What did they say?
Valerie said it was in case you got in an accident, you can use it to break the window.
Exactly right. You pull it out, and the two metal prongs help you break the window. I bet you she Googled it. Maybe not. Hey, look, some people are just smart. Okay, Glenn, you tell me, what do you have? 2 facts about Denver streets. Go ahead, sir.
Well, actually, I've got hundreds of them because I'm an expert.
Good.
I was a cab driver in Denver in the 70s, and I drove Uber a couple of years ago.
Good. I want to hear some fun stuff.
Okay, so everybody knows, at least I think everybody knows, that many of the streets in Denver are in alphabetical order.
Mm-hmm.
But did people know that when you go west from Broadway, they're Native American Indian tribes? So you got Acoma, Bannock, Cherokee, and I will give you all 26.
Okay.
But it ends up with Zuni. That's pretty interesting.
I didn't know that.
Not everybody. Well, take a look at them all. There's
cool.
not
good.
all of them. Like,
tell me something else.
Galapago. Okay, so another interesting fact is that the street numbers. Well, no, let me go back. History. Everybody knows the downtown streets are diagonal. They don't go east, west, north, south, but they go.
Right.
I don't know, north.
Whatever.
East, blah, blah,
right.
Blah.
Diagonal.
That's because the city founders made it correspond to where Cherry Creek ran into the Platte. and that was like in a diagonal fashion.
Oh, very cool.
So that's why you get. So if you go down to, I don't know what the name of that Confluence Park is, you'll see that the angles there correspond to the streets.
Glenn, the streets that run west of Broadway are Indian tribes. The ones that run east, are they presidents?
They're kind of all over the map. You start off with Lincoln, Grant, Sherman.
Presidents.
But then you get to, but then you get to, it runs all the way to Colorado Boulevard. They're kind of, you got Gaylord and you've got Ogden and I'm not even sure Downing. So no, the first ones are, you got Lincoln, Grant, and then Sherman wasn't, but they ran out of presidents.
Sherman wasn't a president. Am I an idiot? Oh, he was a general. That's right. Okay. All right. So, Glenn, anything else interesting? Like, is Colfax truly the longest street in the country?
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
And it is. I've been to both ends of it. Now, another one is if you're looking for a street, if it's an even number, that means it's either on the south side or on the east side.
Right.
If it's an odd number, it means it's on the west side or the north side. So if you know the number, you don't have to be looking on both sides of the street. You know one side of the street or the other.
Yeah, and I think that's like that in most cities, right? I thought. And then
in many of them, yes.
And then if it says just Broadway, it's north. If it's south, it'll say South Broadway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
North is not expressed. Just south is expressed.
Well, usually if it gets far enough north, it might say North Broadway. But usually if it's like 2000 Broadway, it won't say North Broadway.
Now, is it Wine Coop or Win Coop?
I've always said Wine Coop, but, back in the 70s when I was driving and Larimer was the Bowery, you didn't dare go over to Wine Coop.
Oh.
And there used to be some bars that you would never go to. There was Collins Cider and Foods over on 14th, and then there was the Gin Mill on Larimer Street. So
well, Glenn, thank you for all of that. We appreciate it. We got to take a break. I'm Tom Martino. We're talking trivia and we're talking hacks and all of that. Gerald, hang on. We'll take you coming up. And I'd like to know if you have any useful information. We got a bunch of it. Plus, we'll solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. 303-713-TALK.
Cool down.
Hey, Tom. Gee, really?
Yes, sir.
Diamond.
You got anybody that can help out with, like, debt consolidation and stuff on the referral list?
No, but I have ideas. Is that what you need to do personally?
Yeah, I'm trying to, of course, I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was younger, and I just checked my credit score, and it is abysmal, and I ended up all my debt, and it is also abysmal.
Wait, what is the FICO?
555.
Okay, and what is the total debt?
$26,374.
Now, how much of that is credit card?
None. I have $450 I'm paying that off right now.
What is the debt consisting of?
Student loans, 2 cars, and I think an apartment that I got to make from when I was 18.
Now, the cars, do you still have?
No, not any of those.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you privately after the show, or not today necessarily. I have a meeting, but I have some ideas. The other thing, though, how much in student loans?
$1,000 on KHO. Look at that. I'm looking at it right now.
Were they guaranteed student loans? Government backed?
Yeah, they were government backed.
So these are ones that you'll have no matter what.
Yeah. Looks like, here they are.
Kristen moves north. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy.
Department of Ed and Navigation, I have one for 1,474 and one for 9,781.
Turn around, please do not drown. New York City is bracing for the
Now they're both real student loans, right?
Superstorm Sandy.
Yep.
Did you do anything with those student loans? Did they help?
Yeah, I went I used the lower one is actually how I got this job because I went to radio and broadcasting school.
Okay. And hospitalizations and deaths are up in
we'll talk.
12 states. Are still negotiating with White House officials on a new stimulus relief bill.
This is ABC News. In Australia, officials in the state of Victoria have announced new penalties for people who ignore orders to self-isolate because of COVID-19. People who violate the rules now...
They're having a resurgence in Australia because it's winter time.
Sparked by COVID-19.
At the outset of the pandemic, the U.S. housing market was essentially crushed, with home sales plunging by 17%. Now, with historically low interest rates providing some incentive, house hunting is beginning to pick up. And industry watchers say the search is focused on suburban
Doc, here's the deal, man.
as opposed to downtown.
Here's the deal. We are going to...
Caliber home loans saw
we haven't seen the ramifications of this show.
I know. Central City.
I mean, people are just... It's artificial right now. Things are...
Well, it's artificial because of the government's flooding money into the market. But they really have no other choice.
That was why in the 2011 agreement in which Twitter agreed to better protect the privacy of its users. We'll read ABC News.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it.
Do you know what a jerry can is?
Babbel works
gas filter, gas can.
It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use in 15 minutes a day. You'll be on
like on Jeeps and stuff, 5-gallon can.
Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel was created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you've learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel.
I wonder if that really works, teach you a language like that.
Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
KRSX HD2 Denver.
K-How News Time, 11:03.
Colorado Congressman Ken Buck believes lawmakers have to reach a deal on COVID relief on Capitol Hill. He supports legal protection for businesses, but he knows that's a tough proposition.
The challenge is, well, what is reasonable in terms of precautions that a business takes to make sure that
every time I go online to a website,
reduce the likelihood.
all of the advertisements are directed at me. I am such a sap here.
Well, no, because
in order to encourage people to get back to work.
anytime you go to a website,
Florida is getting its first female police chief. The city council voting last night to give interim chief Vanessa Wilson the job permanently. Wilson's acted as police chief since January. She's also worked for the department for more than 20 years. She was also commended by Mayor Mike Hoffman for decisions she's made over the last 7 months. And in the sports, the Rockies back at it again tonight against the Giants. First pitch at 6:40 from Coors Field. The Rockies in first place in the NL West. That's the latest. I'm Chad Hall.
Now, Impact Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Kraft's P3 Portable Protein Packs.
The Mile High City Highway Drive remains in really good shape right now. Let's go with the good news off highway. That big crash at Dry Creek Road and Willow Way near Yosemite, that's been cleared off the roadway, so good news there. Back out on the Highway Drive, just a minor bit of delay downtown and southbound I-25 either side of the Spear. Otherwise, the freeway system is in decent shape. Outside of town, eastbound I-76 is closed once again at Highway 52 outside of Hudson for road work.
I've never heard of having to put your key in a key slot to turn lights on and off in a hotel room.
having what?
Having to put your key in a certain slot to turn lights on and off? I've never heard of that.
Oh, I don't either.
With your Impact Traffic and Weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 K-How.
Try Kraft's P3 Portable Protein Packs, a snack with up to 13 grams of protein from 3 delicious ingredients, meat, cheese, and nuts, because 3 is better than 1. P3 is packaged in convenient on-the-go containers, so if you have a hectic commute or need a boost of energy, P3 is there to help you take on the day.
Don't miss out on some of the all-time lowest interest rates. You can still buy or refi with Ideal Home Loans, safely, remotely.
Hey, Tom, have you ever heard of this movement about sovereign citizens?
Does it have to do with taxes?
No, it has to do with automobiles. I've been looking on YouTube. These people claim that they're not driving, they're quote traveling, and traveling is not regulated by any constitutional.
But they're operating a vehicle, right?
Yes, they say that they're not driving, they're traveling, and you don't need a license to travel.
But you do to drive.
But they don't say they're driving, they say they're traveling. And because it's not commercial, they say that only commercial vehicles are counted under the auspices of needing a driver's license or insurance or registration.
So this is just like the tax people.
Oh, exactly. And these people are such idiots. And they wind up getting arrested because they won't produce a drug. They won't. I don't, in Colorado was in a stop and frisk state.
That's home to 200-200. This is the Troubleshooter Show. I need somebody.
Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We've been talking about trivia streets and hacks and things and how to basically get the most out of life. Problems, questions, complaints. You call us. We have a new deputy signed on today. We're going to call him Deputy B. We got Deputy Doc. Now, Deputy Clint, Deputy Slim, and all the others, they're like in hiding, I think, from this COVID thing. We're like moderately, we're using common sense measures. And I'm Tom Martino, so welcome. And I did today, honest to God, took my CBD because my back is killing me all of a sudden. Now, I work out a lot, but since I've been riding my bicycle, I haven't been riding bikes a lot. And I started riding because I have an e-bike, and I don't want to get into it, but I don't use the E all the time. And I didn't realize that can really give you back pains, on the handlebars, leaned over. That's the only thing I've been doing differently, so it has to be that. Anyway, realcbdthatworks.com. You get 30% off if you put Tom in the promo code. It's Panacea Life Sciences. Realcbdthatworks.com. 30% off Tom in the promo code. Okay, so speaking of cycling, any tricks to that? I mean, did it ever give you back pain, Dan? Oh, did it? Now, Dan, you have a follow-up, right? What follow-up did you want to talk about? Go ahead. Let's get to you, then to the phones.
So this is on the Jiffy Lube where they had checked all the oils and they left the plug out in the differential.
Now, she claims they left the plug out, and when she was driving, it ruined her differential.
Correct. She actually stopped driving when I started smoking, and she called up the Jiffy Lube, and she said that they told them to go ahead and take it anywhere to look at it. So when they did take it over there, they undid the cap, and they said the gears were all messed up. And when Jiffy Lube came back there and they had their inspector, they said, okay, we'll get back with you. They come back a week later, and they said, wow, now the gears are all messed up because you drove at 50 feet.
Well, did they mess it up or not?
He says they have photos both before and after, and he says that did mess it up, but that's not what the driver said.
So Jiffy Lube is saying we may have left oil out, but it probably did minimal damage?
Right. They said the damage was caused because after it was on the rack, they drove it 50 feet. And remember, we have Jeff Ficken on there. He says there's no way that would have happened.
He says no way 50 feet would have made much difference.
Right.
Okay, we may have to... Jiffy Lube, though, they suck, but you got them to talk.
I got him to talk, and then he says, go ahead, call corporate. I'm not going to come on the show.
Yeah, corporate sucks, too, by the way.
I believe you.
All right, so we're going to work on this one. Now, okay, Gerald, you have a comment on city streets. Go ahead. We're asking for hacks and trivia and also some fun stuff. Plus, we are, I promise, going to solve problems. Go ahead, Gerald. What do you have to say? Are you there, Gerald?
I have him up.
Let's try it again. Just one more time, then we go to Mark. Gerald, are you there, sir? All right, let's go to Mark. Mark, welcome to the show. What's going on, Mark? Jeez.
Okay.
Okay,
so you
good.
wanted some
Yes, sir.
Denver City
Yes.
street hacks.
Yes.
Okay, from Colorado going east, they're, again, in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
But it's 2 A's, 2 B's, 2 C's. And the first A is something that's not living, and the second A would be something that is. So those are the living and the dead.
Really?
Albion, ash. Yeah, Claremont, cherry.
Huh. Okay. Okay. What else? Anything else?
That was it.
Who'd you learn that from?
I lived here all my life, and it's just one of those, little local things.
Okay. Is it Wine Coop or Wind Coop?
I'd say I used to call it wine coop, but I know that they've changed it to wind coop.
I don't know if they did actually. So how
I
old?
know that
How old are you, Mark?
That's the new pronunciation.
Are you a native?
Almost 60. Yes.
Oh my goodness! So you're a
Yeah,
native.
almost 60.
Okay, then then you knew me in my hippie days with long hair. Okay, thanks, Mark. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. James, what's going on with you, man? Go ahead, James.
Yes. How you doing, Tom?
Good.
Yeah. I was wondering if you or your audience had heard about the incident that happened in Aurora with the police officers pulling the black family out of the minivan. They had the wrong license plate and the wrong vehicle because they were supposed to be stopping a motorcycle from Montana, and they had a 6-year-old, a 12-year-old, I think a 10-year-old, and a 17-year-old get out on the hot pavement and lay face down on the hot pavement and then handcuff them all.
This was
I
yesterday?
wondering if you had heard any.
No, James, was this yesterday?
This happened approximately, I think it was Saturday maybe. It's been on the news, and it just boiled my blood a lot, just to see another profiling going on against the black people again, and what we just went through with the tensions of race in Denver alone.
Now, how do they? Here's what I don't understand. Okay, they say it's a mistake with the license plate, but here's the deal: they were looking for a motorcycle. So how did they mistake a van for a motorcycle?
They say they're the plate recognition machine that they now use to track down stolen vehicles. I forgot the name of it. Gave them that information for the minivan.
Now
and
listen,
they made a 6-year-old.
No, they have a family. It looks like the Cosby Show, for God's sakes. They have this family sprawled out on black hot pavement. There's no excuse for it. I mean, what the hell are they thinking? I don't understand. I just don't understand it. When I saw this video, I thought you were exaggerating, but this is like a family out of middle America, and they're looking for a motorcycle, and they stopped this van. And okay, they could have stopped them and walked up, got a license and registration, and talked to them. Why the hell they make them all get out on the ground like that?
Police chief said it's because of their training, what they're trained to do in a high-risk situation. And I'm just thinking in my mind, what kind of training allows you to just take a family out and traumatize them? I mean, they literally traumatize the whole family. You know, a 6-year-old.
But listen to this. What's really crazy about this is it's the time we're living in. You'd think they'd be extra sensitive. I can't believe it.
And the police chief said today, the new police chief of Aurora, she said that one of the first things she's going to do is they have got to understand and change their thought process when it is a family like that and not do protocols. She said
but
that
my
is
God, these poor kids.
It was
I don't understand. I'm wondering if it was a white family of blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, if they would do this. Would they? I mean, listen, I'm not one to yell racism, but my God, I just can't believe this. This is so stupid. Oh, man, it's just stupid. Look, if they pull you over, I'm not saying, okay, even if they said, look, it looks like the same license plate, even though it's a van and not a motorcycle, let's pull them over and see. But here's the part I don't understand, if anyone can tell me. Why did they take the additional step of pulling them out on the pavement? That's the part I don't understand. That's the part I don't understand. Anyway, God. You know, see, sometimes they just do things that are stupid. James, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for telling me about this. Now, I heard only a little about it. I didn't realize it was so egregious, for goodness sakes. Did you just want to let people know about it? What basically is, what's your angle on this?
Well, honestly, it's just to tell people and to say when we do holler racism, it's nothing to take light. We have to literally sit down and be willing to stand up for justice for everybody. I mean, this whole thing, what we just went through with George Floyd and the protesting downtown, it shouldn't just stop there. It's going on every day with normal, hardworking black people. That's all. I mean, a 6-year-old kid. Come on, Denver. Come on, Aurora. We can do a hell of a lot better than what we are doing.
James, do you think if it was a white family in a van, do you think it would not have happened?
No, I know it wouldn't have happened. I know it wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have. The thing about it is we like to get out, let me say smear. This is my opinion. We like to smear black people in America. That's just my opinion. So with that being said, you show me a video where a white family is on the ground, and then I'll say it happens to everybody.
No, you know, James, I wish I could tell you that you're exaggerating, but you know what? You really are telling the truth. I have to admit this, man. If that was a white family from Highlands Ranch, it would have never happened. I don't care what the hell you say. It would have never, ever happened. It wouldn't have. And I don't know why. Because I don't like the idea, I don't like the term institutional racism, because I don't want to indict everyone and everything. Because I don't think everyone and everything is racist. But it sure as hell is prevalent in
Tom.
certain places. Okay, Ants, go ahead, man.
This is my take on it.
And by the way, for those listening, Ants is a young black man. So I want to say that since you said this is my take. Go ahead, Ants.
This is just my take on it because I've looked at it from both sides. There's some people that argue that the reason that police interaction with black people is because we're 13% of the population, 50% of the crime rate. I do understand that, and I do think that kind of statistic kind of sticks in an officer's head. That's when they would approach someone like me with a little bit more caution because they expect me to fight and stuff like that.
Okay.
But that's still the problem. I should still get approached with the same amount of respect and the same protocol as somebody who doesn't have the statistical average.
Okay.
To commit
What do you think about this incident?
I think this incident is simply literally people thinking it's a black family. They're more likely to, be playing along or, more likely to get violent, more likely to speed off. So that's why they would approach with more aggression than they would a white family. It's simply because they have that, black people commit 50% of the violent crimes in America. They had that statistic so lodged in their head that they approach us with a level of aggression that they wouldn't any other race. And that has to stop.
Okay, let's talk to Tom. Tom, what's your comment on this? Go ahead, Tom. Thank you, Ants. Appreciate it. Tom?
Hey, Tom, I just saw on this topic, I saw on 9 News, they had said that the numbers on that license plate recognition thing, that the numbers were an exact match to that motorcycle that showed up.
Yeah, I know, but they were looking for a motorcycle.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It might be some software glitch in their system, but it was just the numbers were an exact match. That's what 9 News said.
No, that's what they said. No, I get that part. And by the way, Tom, here's what I'm saying. Even if the numbers were an exact match, and then they know they're looking for a motorcycle, which has a different size plate, and not a van, why didn't they walk up, get a license and registration, and question the driver? Why did they make everyone get out and go face down on hot pavement? That's the part I don't understand.
Oh, and I agree. I never saw that. They never showed that part on the news. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Got to break in a little bit.
That's the only part I don't understand. I'm not saying they shouldn't have stopped him at all. I'm not saying they shouldn't have questioned him. But I just can't help but thinking, if this was a soccer mom from Highlands Ranch or Arvada or name your place, or Cherry Creek, it would not have happened. We got more coming up.
Clear. 30 seconds still full of law and just.
Broncos fans, this year has been full of
Big thing is they're kids. They're kids.
It wouldn't have happened, guys. It wouldn't have happened.
No, but I have an important comment I want to make on this.
Okay, so that the vehicle was stolen before?
No.
Okay.
About this.
All participants will complete their own 7K run.
And again, Aurora
Full of law, Central Review, both work.
Includes
is in Arapahoe County. Arapahoe County is known for
Broncos7K.com.
Century RV. That's where you go to find RVs. In fact, Mark's out today with his son, and guess where they are? In their RV they bought from Century RV. Century RV has internet pricing. That means people search from all over the country and come here, but you're lucky. They're just north of the city on the exit 240 to Longmont and I-25. They have a service department up there. Plus, they're out just north of 6th Avenue in Lakewood between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's. As I said, they have travel trailers, Class A's, Class B's. That's CenturyRV.com, 303-453-1111. I hope that you don't need John Fuller, but you will if you get into an accident. And here's what I love about what John does. If you are in an accident and you're injured, he will answer questions freely, no charge, free legal advice when you need it. You may not end up hiring him, still no charge. Talk to him. If you guys decide it's a good match, he only gets paid on contingency, which means when he collects for you. 303-597-4500. Please get real legal advice. 303-597-4500. John Fuller.
I own a bed that's worth
So what's your comment, Doc?
Do you have a comment, Doc?
Yes. And I think it's significant.
Well, if you do it, then don't do it now. Do it on the air.
Yeah.
Okay, but can it help keep us safe? It senses your movements. Automatically adjust to keep you.
That one kid looked like about 7 years old that they had down there. That's crazy. They're kids.
So is today, no, Wednesday and Friday we're eating food, right? I want food today. You want to do it today instead?
It's up to you.
Oh, I got a $50 bill for you too. Do you want to, what do you want to do? I want to do food.
Okay.
I'm not feeling good. I want food.
All right, we'll call him.
Lunch. Right?
We'll call him.
I'm with you. I'm with you and Big Lou.
Do they have a menu online?
They might.
I'd still want the burger.
Creating up to maybe $1,000 a month in monthly savings, maybe more. It just takes a 10-minute call.
I don't understand it. Seriously, kids like that, why they would have handcuffed them.
Someone who will customize a loan program to achieve.
So tell me this, why are almost all cops fat?
And you don't have to start your loan.
Why is it? Seriously, I'm serious about that.
Because they sit in a patrol car all day?
That could be, but or shouldn't they have to...
Well, here's their menu, bros.
Okay.
So call 303.
They have bratwurst too, did you know that?
Yeah.
To learn more. That's 303-695-7000 or online.
Okay. I know it. I want a cheeseburger.
Right.
And a hot dog.
Okay.
And I want a side of coleslaw.
Or, even if he can perform, it's just not...
And a side salad if that's one. Let me see.
Yeah, you just...
Yep. I want a house salad, coleslaw, a cheeseburger, and a hot dog.
The last time you'll
What's Doc going to get?
Your club sandwich, you want a burger?
Good. What are you getting, Doc?
I'm getting a hamburger today.
That hamburger's pretty damn good.
Their positivity, and in many cases, save their relationships. The treatments we use are proven to have success rates as high as 90%. And unlike the online pharmacies that just...
I'm waiting to hear Doc's comment. He's being very tight with it.
And treatment combinations that could have you performing like you haven't in years.
Now, come on, man. They mistake Black Family of 5 and SUV for one stolen motorcycle.
But they said that it was... And now, this one thing I do got to say is this car was stolen in February. The same car was stolen in February.
The one they were driving?
Yeah. No. But then it was returned to her. It was stolen and then it was returned to her. So that they say might be part of it. I'm saying there's no excuse to put kids on the ground like that.
There's no excuse to get the kids out of the car.
There you go.
I mean, once you take the driver outside and or you get the keys, then there's no reason to get the kids out of the car.
I agree with that.
It's absurd.
I totally agree with that.
To find your strength.
Totally agree.
To find your community. To find your...
You know, if they had term limits, Bonyfinger wouldn't be in there.
Yeah, but neither would most of the people.
The crazy thing about the 2-year thing is they spend, if you read anything,
all the time
18 months
politicking.
For 18 months they're fundraising.
Yes.
They're not doing any business.
Yes.
If they had one 5-year term.
That's one thing I do got to say that if they had. So, did you read that thing that go on that line of Unbreaking America? So on one of the things they said, if everybody got a $50 or $100 voucher that you could put to the party of choice, or
so they wouldn't have to campaign.
But I don't like it that people are automatically registered. Because
They issued an apology to a client.
yeah, I know.
A group of black girls.
I know. Like I say, kids. That's what I say. Kids, they're kids.
When he's not talking about it, he's tweeting about it. Follow the Troubleshooter.
All right, about 10 seconds.
And the cops are fat.
Follow Denver's Talk Station on Twitter. Find us right now at 630 KHOW. Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Remember, realcbdthatworks.com. realcbdthatworks.com. Tom and the promo code get 30% off. And then Frank Duran, the real estate man, is offering free market appraisals. I have to tell you that because you don't have to list your home with him to get it done. And his market appraisal is damn near like an appraisal, and it's free. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. If you do decide to list, he doesn't even hold you to a long-term contract because he knows he has to earn your money every day. He's one of the best. Okay, now, we were talking about this van of black girls that it was not a dad and mom and all that, but some black girls were pulled over, and the van, they were pursuing or looking for a motorcycle and saw this match, they said, on the van, so they pulled over the van, pulled him out, made him lay down on the pavement face down and handcuffs and all of that, and it was ridiculous. Anyway, so what do you have to say? Deputy Doc, you have a follow on what?
No, here's my comment.
Oh.
I think it may not be fast enough, but I think racism is changing because two things. My son is 32 years old. He and all of his friends don't see color. They're all integrated. They don't care what color the people are.
I believe it.
And the second thing is, if you look at the BLM movement, whether you like it or not, there are so many young white people involved in Black Lives Matter that as we progress, I think the younger generation is becoming less and less racist, more and more inclusive. So things may not be moving as fast as some of the black people, and I would love to get Ance's view on this, but it is changing because the younger generations are becoming more integrated. There are more integrated families, and the young white kids are in the Black Lives Matter movement.
Well, I can tell it's changing no matter what. When I was younger, there would be racist jokes. You never hear a racist joke now. I mean, at least I don't, and that's because it's simply unacceptable. And how about that? Now, I never told him. I never got off on that because I was sick and tired of those and Italian jokes and all that. Now, here's the deal. I know it's changing. I don't think anybody's doubting that. It is changing. But there is some deep down crap going on. It is. We got to admit it. Now, I'm not saying we live in a terrible country. We live in a great country. So, Colorado Springs Dodge, by the way, is on the line. And we're checking in on businesses. Hold on before you bring them up. I want to go to him and ask about, we know what the car business is doing up here, but I also want to know how they're doing because they have what I call a national dealership where people come from all over the country to shop there because of their pricing. But first I want to get this this problem that's been waiting a while. This is Buzz. Buzz, go ahead. What's going on, Buzz?
My driveway had been resurfaced, and it's a 150-yard driveway. 3/4 of it is acceptable, 1/4 is not acceptable. The owner said he would be back and fix it, and this has been over 2 months ago, and now I've called him almost daily, and he will not return any calls, and it says 100% satisfaction on the...
How'd you find him, Buzz? Tell me, did he knock on your door?
He was doing another driveway down
right.
the road,
and then
I asked him...
Oh, and you asked him, okay.
I asked him for a quote on the driveway.
Okay.
He came about a week later and gave me a quote.
Now, how does it look? The part that's acceptable, why is it acceptable, and why is the other part not acceptable?
To tell you the truth, I think he ran out of material.
No, but tell me what's not acceptable. Tell me what you mean. What is not acceptable?
There's all kinds of rocks and there's not enough tar or sealant on the last 40 yards of the driveway.
So did they actually, did you do more than sealing? Buzz. Did you do more than sealing? You used the word sealing. Did they actually, this is actually, they put down new stuff is what you're saying. New asphalt.
They put down a sealant over the asphalt. They did a crack seal.
Okay.
And they used a squeegee to put on another thin layer of tar.
Okay. When you say tar, do you mean asphalt or just tar? Tar is the black pitch stuff. Did they put just the black gooey stuff down, or did they do blacktop? You know, the asphalt.
The gooey stuff.
Okay, so then I don't understand what you mean when you say it didn't have enough rock in it or something. That part I don't understand. If they're only sealing or putting on the black stuff, there is no stone in that.
Correct. But they got stone from the side of the driveway and tracked it on there.
Okay, I see what you mean. It's sloppy. Okay, now, we're going to try, Buzz, we're going to try to call these guys, but I want to explain something to you. If they turn out to be deadbeats, there's not much we can do with deadbeats. That's the problem, okay? Not much we can do if they are truly deadbeats, except warn others. But I'm going to have Deputy Doc call them. So, Buzz, hang on. Daphne will get that information. And, Daphne, have we heard from Deputy B on that other problem yet?
Yeah, I'm going to have him call in and give you the update.
All right, 303-713-8255.
Sir, about 1 minute.
They got B&N Asphalt got fairly good reviews.
What is it, like the usual? Or
no, they're all 5-star, but they're all,
no shit.
Yeah. 8, just 8 though.
Really?
I'll try to get Yelp here.
Sponsored by Kraft's P3 Portable Protein Packs.
That's Google.
If you gotta be out and about, now's a good time to get across town. The Highway Drive looking pretty wide open across Mile High City.
Man, they got good rates.
Northbound side of Santa Fe and Iowa.
They average 4.5, 14 reviews on Yelp.
The other trouble spot is outside of town, northeast of the metro area. Eastbound I-76 is
hey,
outside of Hudson.
Dan? Yes.
What's their office? Okay, I'll just talk.
719-306-1547. Yes.
Is that Ian Nottingham?
Yes.
He's the owner?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. 630 K-How.
Try Kraft's P3 Portable Protein Packs.
Well, they got good reviews.
Meat, cheese, and nuts, because 3 is better than 1. P3 is packaged.
Of all the reviews on Yelp and Google, they only have 1 1-star.
Boost of energy. P3 is there to help you take on the day.
Well, that's why we always get both sides of the story. All right, I need to tell you about Sheridan Auto Tech because Uncle Kevin is simply incredible. Kevin Calkins, the owner, and they do auto repair and auto maintenance, but they do it like a family. First of all, he keeps you in a data bank and reminds you when things are due. You don't do better than having someone personally look after you. And they have value, experience, honesty, convenience, like 2 locations on Colfax and Lakewood, just west of Bosworth, and then near 6th Avenue on Havana. You can go for details at SheridanAutotech.com. That is such a great place to go. 303-455-7242. I think you know by now that I know these people personally that I advertise for. I really and truly do. Not one of them. Not one of them is a stranger to me. Jay Bretz is a personal friend. Excel Roofing is the company where you don't pay a cent until you're content. That's what he likes saying. He's owned it since '93. He started it. He's got more than 30,000 satisfied customers, and he's been on my referral list since day one. So Excel is like excellent, E-X-C-E-L. ExcelRoofing.com, and they do repairs as well. That's what I love. You know, if you need just a small repair, they can do it. They don't push for the whole job. They can do commercial and residential. 303-761-6400. Rock solid warranties. They know the whole roof system. They even have these fans for the attic that keeps your roof longer, longevity, without wiring and solar power. ExcelRoofing.com, 303-761-6400. Thank you. Okay, who did I do? Frank Duran, and I did 2 Panaceas. But I did not do.
You know, I used to think that Medicare was one big complex. What's covered? What's not? Then I made one phone call to United Healthcare and got the answers I needed.
I'm falling behind because I don't feel good. Oh, okay. Let's order.
I did.
Okay, did you give me a hot dog and a...
You got it.
Good, man. Good. Okay.
I get more
This,
from Medicare. My prescription drugs are included.
You know, I've been mentally figuring $50, but if it's more, you got to let me know.
Oh,
I go $50.
it's more, you know, I'm not worried about a couple of bucks. That's fine.
Okay.
You know, for what you pay me, I can afford a couple of bucks.
See, he's appreciative, Dan.
Yes, he is.
Dan, if you talk to
You know, Dan, you read so many things about retired people needing something
To do?
Otherwise, you just stay home and go crazy.
Right.
Did you talk to investors?
I got a call into him.
Okay.
So.
And by the way, I think anything would work for them, even a quarter. I mean, anything would work, just something. Actually, we could do this.
I agree with you.
That doesn't have to be big. Because that table of contents, I think I have sold that page. But it doesn't matter. He can always get other placement that's good. Okay. But I don't think he needs it. See, I think just anything to say what he does, it doesn't have to be long and complicated. It doesn't have to be an advertorial. What they do is pretty simple. And my message would be very plain. You never know until you call.
Absolutely.
That's it. It's a simple message. So it can be done in a half page, quarter page, or, you know, obviously a full.
Is this a new sponsor?
No, he's my regular sponsor.
Oh.
I'm doing that.
Hi, Slim back on a great real estate agent that I trust in Denver, Troy Hansford. If you're thinking about selling your house every day.
Let me show you something here, guys. This is top secret, by the way. No one knows about it. No one.
He's the agent that I recommend you call. Because Troy is truly the only agent that will guarantee to sell your home at your price, or he'll pay you $5,000. If he can't sell your house for what you want, he's going to write you a check for $5,000. Troy can make you that guarantee because he spends tens of thousands of dollars on marketing, creating demand, and right now he has so many approved buyers that want to close on the house before summer ends. He doesn't have enough houses to sell, and if there's any reason you need to sell right away, Troy will buy your house for all cash, and you can close in 7 days. There's no reason you should wait. Call Troy right now.
I'll tell you what I have. Okay. I'll tell you when I get it. I just got it.
720-944-33.
Troy Hansford Remax Professionals, a Colorado licensed broker. Some restrictions apply.
It's Brian with Advanced Mud Jacking. If you're new to Denver, you may not know what to do about sinking concrete.
10 seconds, you're back.
I'll show you how to fix it and save money. Advanced Mud Jacking, 303-424-9441. Advanced Mud Jacking at yahoo.com.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, so we have a lot of people commenting on this. So, Juanita, you have a comment on the pullover of the van full of black girls. They were asked to get out. They were handcuffed, put face down on black hot pavement. They were looking for a motorcycle, Aurora Police, but they pulled over this van because they said it had the same license plate. We don't understand any of that. And anyway, what do you have going on? Juanita.
Oh, yes, and I'm sorry, I guess I didn't hear that part. That was my comment. In the initial reports, they said that dispatch had neglected to tell them they were looking for a motorcycle.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
But I didn't hear that in any of the other reports, so I think there's a lot of finger-pointing going on right now, which is why you haven't heard too much more in the past couple days. But do you think,
let me ask you something, Juanita, do you think, seriously, if it was a group of white girls, they would have been on the ground like that?
No, I believe that they would not have been on the ground. I believe they would have maybe questioned the driver, asked, as you said, asked for license and registration. No, it was horrifying. That little tiny 6-year-old, for heaven's sake.
We have to admit it was horrifying.
Yeah.
Thank you, Juanita. And again, I don't want people thinking that I'm calling everybody a racist. I'm not. But that was unacceptable. Joe, what do you think? What's going on, Joe?
Well, one of your people there had mentioned that they think that there's less racism going on in the younger generation. I have an alternate view of that. What it seems like is that the younger generation is looking for instances of racism without really having full details of things. And anytime anything is questionable, it gets pointed out immediately as this is a big problem or this is racist. We don't even have all the details of the case where the van was pulled over. There's no real saying whether it was racially motivated or not racially motivated, and yet it sparks the whole conversation about it. I have one other thing that I noticed on the radio, a different channel, if I can tell you the radio station. They actually have a crazy Karen daily update.
Yes.
Which apparently is about apparently white women that have a meltdown and are called Karen.
They're supposedly stupid, right? Stupid or clueless white women are called Karens. That's right. Do you think that's a bit racist?
Is that racist?
Well,
I don't think it is.
I don't know, actually. Do you think, Joe? Don't you think, though, we do have some underlying racism nowadays?
We've always had that, and there always will be.
You think they're real?
In other words,
oh man, I got to tell you.
Yes, I do believe so.
Do you know, if anything?
I'm not saying that there's less today. If to follow up on that or to clarify, I believe that there's less racism today than 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. But that doesn't mean it's going to completely go away. Probably because cultures don't interact enough. The ones that interact, I think, generally speaking, are well respected back and forth.
Joe, do you think that aggression would have came towards a white family? Do you think they would have been that aggressive with a white family?
Well, what I think and what would have happened are two different things.
But what do you think, Joe? What do you think?
I'm not, in other words, I'm not looking for the police officers to automatically give a white family or a white group of whoever the gals were an automatic pass because
I
they're
was
white.
asking you.
I don't know that.
What do you think would have happened?
Correct. I think that if a officer is told that there's a stolen vehicle and they're going to pull it over, they're going to protect themselves as they should because they don't know who has that vehicle.
Joe,
avoiding the question. Avoiding the fucking question.
If it was a group of white girls, do you think, I'm just asking, the cops would have acted the same?
Again, I couldn't tell you what hypothetically the cops would do. I can tell you this. If I was in the van and I was white and I got pulled over and they put me to the ground and said, this is a stolen vehicle, and then I proved that it wasn't a stolen vehicle, you know what I'd say? No harm, no foul. Okay?
Okay.
I understand it was reported as a stolen vehicle,
but
I'm not going to
first of all,
that you guys are
they were
doing
looking for a motorcycle. They weren't looking for a stolen vehicle. I don't know where you're getting your story. They were looking for a motorcycle, and they said that tag matched a motorcycle. That's what I thought. Terry, what do you have to say about it? Maybe you know more. Terry?
The license plate they were looking for, not only was it a motorcycle, but it was a Montana plate, not a Colorado plate. It did have numbers that were similar, but it was Montana they were looking for, not Colorado. And this woman's van had been stolen back in February, but it was found the next day and given back to her.
And it was not on the stolen list, by the way. But Terry, I want to ask you something. I swear to God, I don't point my finger at everyone say racism because I don't believe it. I don't. But I will say this, okay? That I do believe there is some racism. To say there's none would be crazy. And I think that other guy was trying to make a point that there isn't any and we're all the same and we treat everybody the same, and I don't think we do. But Terry, what do you think?
Oh, no. If it would have been a white family, there's no way they would have put him on the ground.
I know. And you don't have to be progressive or liberal to think that. So,
No.
okay.
I live like a half mile from there.
Now, I think, look, we all size ourselves up compared to other people. We do. We do it when we're at a cocktail party. We do it when we're at a gathering. We do it when we're in a social event. We don't do it like for racism. I mean, some people might, but I mean, we do. We say, where do we fit in here? Everyone does. It's a psychological thing. It's built into us. Where do we stand here? Or should we blend in? Maybe we should take the lead. Should we talk? What should we do? Are these people smarter than me? Am I smarter than them? I mean, am I crazy, or do people do that in a crowd? Don't you, when you're in a social gathering, don't you place yourself in that gathering and size up people? And I'm not saying on a racial thing, but you size up people. And here's what I found myself doing. I'm just going to be really straight with you people when it comes to racism. What I have found myself doing over the years, because it's been drummed into my head that racism, and I know it's wrong, and that racism exists, I go the opposite. I start thinking only good things unless I'm proved differently. And I actually do. I go out of my way. To be nicer. Now, is that racism? I guess you could say, well, you shouldn't treat them any different, Tom. But I do. I go out of my way. And I do it because there is such a stigma there. And that doesn't mean I treat other people badly. 303-713-TALK. Stay on the line if you want to discuss this. Plus, we have Colorado Springs Dodge. I have some questions for an update on the car business in the Springs area and also their internet business. And then Deputy B has an update on Olinger. We'll do all of that coming up.
1 minute till get found.
So I would like to see their training tells that they would put kids on the ground.
I'm sorry, bro. What?
I would like to see, they say they were following their training. I would like to see their training telling they put kids on the ground. I disagree on that.
Deputy B can't see anything above the title that says call screener and then, our phone numbers.
What?
He doesn't have access to the chat.
But I gave him complete access. If he's signed on to the deputy,
he's got to click on that. Does he know how to click?
And he has to click up on that. But is he signed on with his troubleshooter address? He can't be signed on with his own.
Okay, I'll have to ask him that.
And then when you say he can't see anything, what do you mean?
He can't see anything above the call screener where the click on to the chat is.
Oh. Yeah, he just doesn't know how to look.
Yeah.
Can he take a picture of his screen? Tell him to take a few pictures of his screen and send it to me, okay?
Good for you. We'll do 10 seconds till getting out there.
Thank you.
When you need them most.
We'll let that be done.
So call your local Allstate agent today. Are you in good hands?
GetFoundFast.com. Okay, what is that? That's a company that specializes in making your website visible to search engines and also organizing your website so it's friendly to search engines and it loads quickly for consumers. Do you know most consumers won't wait 2.8 seconds for a website to load? They'll analyze your website free of charge, whether you hire them or not. Get this free analysis. It's really worth a lot. Find out more at GetFoundFast.com.
Rates are like a roller coaster lately. Learn about the future and how to protect your home. Do you want to become mortgage safe? Take AIM, Affordable Mortgage.
Being my office was at in Aurora, I had so many black patients. And let me tell you,
Last time many of our friends lost their home, it was unnecessary.
Yes.
720-895-0500.
The behavior and attitude of black patients was no different than the behavior and attitude of white patients.
On how they love their babies?
No, not, how they interacted with me. There was, it was a total spectrum. There were mostly nice people. There were some patients that you didn't want to see, but it was exactly the same in the white population. There were some patients that were pains in the ass, but it had nothing to do with race. Most of them were just, we had a great relationship. They were happy to have a doctor that, they took care of them. And they were really, but it was, like I said, the exact same distribution of black and white patients.
A couple years ago, we had a guy on there that said, because he had a complaint, I don't know if you remember this, Tom, he says, the only problem I ever had with black women. And he was black. He was a business guy.
And they can do it all from overhead.
I don't know if you remember that.
Bicycles convert your back, right?
You know what? You know what? It does take a while because the way you're on that and stuff. If you're not doing it, I'm not a bicycle guy.
It's the only thing I've been doing different, Dan. Fucking back here.
That's exactly
right there where I hold on to the bar.
And it's over to hold on to. Can you hold down here or stuff? I think you should.
Well, I'm pretty darn low already. Now once in a while I do.
You might want to change your seat height.
I did that too, but I'm still, no matter what, they're made to do.
You still think over a little bit.
And it's the only thing I did differently.
How about your ass? Your ass doesn't hurt?
No, I have a really nice banana seat with gel on it.
Okay.
They're not, it's not a big seat, but it's made really well, man.
And it's got the gel, which makes a big difference. It does.
It's really amazing stuff. But man, I tell you, I almost cried last night. Fuck, you know what they call, the chiropractors call it a rib pain? Have you ever had that, where it goes here right through to your chest?
No.
Yeah, because you don't have pain. But it's the kind of pain you get that a good adjustment knocks it right out.
Oh, really? So it is. Oh, because it feels like it's in the bone. I have had that and stuff.
And it's not musculoskeletal.
It might be too.
Because I can usually tell if it's.
But it's in the
skeletal.
But it's in the.
You should get one of those pads, round things, and roll on it.
I swear to God. This is the kind of pain. I made an appointment, I think, for later. My chiropractor is so good. It's like bad.
I tell you, people who don't think chiropractors work have not had a good chiropractor. I think. Because it's but there are chiropractors who just want you to keep on coming.
I wonder if Deputy B still has his license. Oh, fuck! I'd love to get an adjustment.
What about what's his name? Is he still on the list?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's good too.
Oh, he helped me a bunch.
Oh yeah, I know. He has a
bright light.
Seriously.
Oh yeah, it's a weird.
I swear, my shoulder, because I dislocated my shoulder when I was a kid. It took like 3 months, but.
What the hell happened here? What is this?
Oh.
What was that? I have no idea.
Maybe just locked up, or.
This has been rock solid. I'm going to take it with me when I go on vacation.
But again, you're rebooting it every day.
And this one I never did.
And I think that's probably. I think you're exactly right.
I'm going to take this on vacation.
When are you going on vacation, Tom?
I don't know. I mean when I actually go on.
Are you planning on one?
No, not really, because of COVID.
And you know that
we'll be able to do things when we get to it.
All devices need to be rebooted. Remember Doc's and stuff with his phone? You weren't working, and you rebooted it. Boom. And I just think
Dan, I was going to take a few days off, not vacation, but a few days. What did we decide? You go to Marks when we do that?
We can do that.
I mean, it depends, because there's really nothing to do here.
Right.
You could sign on and shit, but I think it's better to. Or Mark could come here and meet you guys too. Because if I'm not going to use the house, I don't mind if you guys.
And then we can play racquetball. You have a party?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, listen. Really quick, Steve, what's your comment? Go ahead, Steve. What is your comment on racism?
I just really feel that it's an entire thing that everybody has to deal with, and it comes from all. Don't just think that it's white versus black. My son is Latino, and it gets called very choice words by black students.
You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right.
And it's just not this one issue. It's a whole that needs to be changed, in my opinion.
You know what? You're right. It has to do with diversity in general. True diversity, by the way. Let's go to Jim, Colorado Springs Dodge. Jim, first I want to ask you something. You guys have a big internet business and a big national business because you have such competitive pricing. A lot of people come in just to do business with you. Has that slowed down a lot because of the pandemic?
It's certainly slowed down in March and April. Since the early part of May, it's really picked right back up. Actually, we have a customer here now, got here about an hour ago from Nebraska, picking up a new truck. So it did slow down for a short time, but it's turned around again.
Good. Now, next thing, how is the car business in general in the Colorado Springs area? And then you get a lot of business from the outlying areas. Is that slow or is that picking back up?
Definitely picking back up. The biggest impact, and I think I speak for most, if not all, the dealers in Colorado, on our business is the lack of used car inventory. The pandemic shut things down. New cars weren't being delivered. That's picked back up. We've gotten new cars back on the lot, but it's very difficult to get used cars, which really, for the consumer, makes their used car just worth so much more. I mean, whether the customer wants to sell it or trade it in, it's worth more than it was 6
Are
months
you
ago.
guys buying used cars outright for people, even if they don't want to trade?
Oh, sure, absolutely, yeah. And as a matter of fact, I've got an ad running on local radio down here right now speaking directly to that. Yeah, we need people to bring them in, and even if they were thinking about holding off for a few months, we're just paying more than we ever would. We need the cars.
That is great to know, and I'm going to give you the phone number, but it's ColoradoSpringsDodge.net. Okay, are you running any specials?
Absolutely. We've got low payments on our number one seller. Really, Tom, we're a truck store. We sell more Rams than anybody in Colorado, for sure. So, yeah, we have specials on the Rams. There's so many different models. It's hard to go down the list of all the different payment options that are available. But to answer the specific question, yeah, we've got specials on them now that our inventory is back up in the new car department.
So we're one of the top downloaded shows around. I want to just say, if you're downloading this, you're in another part of the country, ColoradoSpringsDodge.net. They can arrange delivery. They can pick you up at the airport. They can make arrangements. You just contact them. And anyway, here's the number, 719-475-8550. That's 719-475-8550. And man, I'll tell you, it is one hell of a shop. We never get complaints about you guys, and that's wonderful. So I want to know the most popular units selling. You say are trucks, but with the automobiles, what would it be?
We have a Dodge. Listen, Dodge is a muscle car. The Dodges are muscle cars. So the Dodge Charger is definitely the one that Charger and Challenger are almost equal, but the Dodge Charger, because it comes in a few different levels, we sell more of those than anything.
Now, do you guys, because you're Dodge, do you sell any Jeeps, or do you not have access to those?
No, we have a big new car Jeep store right next door. It's not our store, so we're just Dodge and Ram. But, you know, we have plenty of business with just the Dodges and the Rams.
All right, so that's thank you very much. ColoradoSpringsDodge.net, 719-475-8550. Okay, Deputy B has a follow-up on Olinger coming up, plus a lot more. Get your calls in, 303-713-TALK.
Have you... We really don't have complaints from them, do we?
Never.
It's plus, I like him. He's another good guy coming in on this. He's a good guy.
Okay, who wants plates? Anybody?
I'm good. No, I'll just eat out of the box there.
Because of American financing, they offer take.
Tom, Deputy B was on the phone. That's why he couldn't see the screen.
Truly is a
Okay.
You choose the term.
He was on the phone. That's why he couldn't see this. Deputy B.
Helping you find the right solution for your need.
I want to be Deputy A then.
So get started now by calling 303-695-7000.
Now you want forever memorialized as Deputy
If we'll see his comment, maybe you'll call him Deputy B minus. That would be funny. That would be funny, huh? I think it'd be funny.
$1,000 on KHOW Denver.
You know what? And I don't know how. You know, just as far as how you did race, I didn't even realize there was any anti-Semitism until I was like 27 or so. It made no sense to me because we were always taught, like Catholic, all that they were the chosen people, and how could anybody be an anti-Semite?
I know, that's true.
And seriously, that's the absolute. And I still don't.
And I never was aware of it because in New York, there's no anti-Semitism.
No, there isn't. I swear to God. We grew up in the neighborhood, and by the way, in New York, they're more ethnic. They're like Italians, I swear.
Well, weren't they pretty much located, though? The Italians were all together, the Poles were all together, neighborhood. Right. But seriously, I didn't even know where that would. I still don't understand how Christian people can be anti-Semitic and call themselves Christian.
I don't know. I don't think they are. Not true Christians.
Well, an awful lot. KKK were supposed to be Christian, and they were very. Of course, they were anti-Catholic too.
They were evil people. My God.
They're Democrats. They were. Democratic Party was KKK.
When you go to the fringes of the left and the right, you get nuts.
Of course.
Oh, one guy said on the hack, Chinese food is supposed to unfold into a plate.
Right.
You knew that? Okay, I didn't know that.
I never knew that either until I was reading today. I read that one.
I think the gas thing is a pretty cool thing.
I'm using this as my coaster.
A new hack.
Did you know? You knew about the arrow on the gas gauge, right?
Not till I read it in the thing. I knew it before, but I read it like about a year ago.
When I used to rent cars, I had to get out and look.
Yeah, I know it. Exactly.
Oh, you mean that little arrow?
Yeah. So what do they do when it used to be in the back? It used to be below the trunk. That's all. I mean, right? All gas tanks were pretty much, below right below the trunk.
You know, there was some where you lifted up the license plate. Remember?
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. When I was
there was a door.
Right, a little door from the license plate. That's where most of it was in a little cap there. And it's when I was a kid growing up, we left the key to the trunk in the trunk. That's where it was always. It was never.
Interim chief Vanessa Wilson in the position permanently elected as chief since January following the retirement of former chief Nick Metz last year. Wilson has worked for the department for more than 2 decades and was commended by the mayor for decisions she's taken over the last 7 months.
Thank you.
The new chief also apologizing for another incident. Officers pulled over what they thought was a stolen vehicle over the weekend, but it turned out to be a plate mix-up. But not before an adult and 4 kids were taken.
No, I tell you what. In fact, in those cops, was there one woman or 2 women? I have to look at the video again. I just don't understand how a woman cop would even put kids on the ground. I really don't. Kids on the ground. I don't understand that.
I can understand if it was adults and because you don't want them to drive off in the car. But if you take the keys and you have them sit in the car,
there was a 6-year-old girl on the ground.
They crashed on the westbound side of Santa Fe, Iowa has cleared out of the way. Great news there. Still working on a wreck on the westbound side of Hamden at University, though. Watch out for big delays there.
Oh, somebody from Aurora. I'll forward this to you.
What?
These are Aurora PD.
what does it say?
Tease, Doc. You can come and look at it, though, if you want. I'll send it to you, Tom.
Watch out for the backup. Weather forecast.
You know what? This kind of does piss me off. They put their life on the line all the time. They're not even in the top 10 of dangerous occupations. So don't give me that crap.
If the next step for your business is finding a high-impact hire, try Indeed. Their flexible payment options mean better bang for your buck with no long-term contracts. Indeed will even give you a $75 credit for your first job post at Indeed.com/high-impact. Conditions apply.
And I don't believe they would stick kids.
They were, if it was 6 grown-ups, I can understand it. But when you have a 6-year-old kid, there's no excuse.
The only thing is on the 6-year-old kid, they didn't handcuff him, but they still made him lay flat on the ground.
Hey Tom, you there?
So that's the problem. You can't fucking talk unless you walk over.
No.
Yes, sir.
Just letting you know, this Joseph guy
25 seconds?
Understood.
Okay. Then I am waiting.
Man, that went quick.
We'll go quick.
The bridge. So I sent you the email from that. He's a retired detective from Aurora Police Department.
Yeah, honestly.
It's your chance to win $1,000.
I still don't think you don't put kids on the ground.
10 seconds. Here you go.
You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
Have you ever talked to anybody who gets on-trying marijuana as cactus?
No.
This is the
303-713-8255. Welcome to the show. Solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. Tom and the promo code gets you 30% off for pain, inflammation. It's a lifesaver for me, man. I was so hurting today after riding bicycles a lot, and it just helped. I don't know why, but it's just so effective. Anyway, 30% off with Tom and the promo code RealCBDThatWorks.com. Okay, let's go to Deputy B. Here's what happened. A woman called and said that Olinger, they have a double stone, and it was meant for husband and wife. The husband passed away now. The wife and this girl's mom passed away. And she said she can't get them to put the plaque on there they paid for commemorating the mom. The plaque goes on the headstone. Right now, it's a double headstone. The part of the headstone has the dad's information. The other part is supposed to have a plaque with the mom's information. But she said she paid for it, and they won't even call her back. Deputy B, thanks, man. What did you find out, sir?
Okay. Well, I contacted your angel, named Teresa, and Teresa said she will... well, I explained the story to Teresa.
Right.
Teresa then said she'd contact Julie, which she did. And the reason I know she did is I followed up with both Julie and Teresa.
Good.
And Julie is satisfied.
Okay.
That by the end of the day, Teresa will have all her questions answered, and specifically when that plate will be there.
Cool. This is great news. Okay, so Deputy B, you travel a bit. I want to ask you something. Are you in Colorado these days right now?
Right now I'm at Lifetime Fitness Athletic Club enjoying the outdoor swimming pool, yes.
Oh, and you're
I'm not in the pool. I'm laying at the Shays Lounge.
And you're doing your research at the pool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Deputy Doc, you getting any ideas? He's at the pool. Okay. So, by the way, I was talking about a back pain. Did you retain your license, sir?
As maybe you don't know, I'm retired.
Yes.
So,
are you allowed to? Are you allowed to help people after retirement or not?
I don't physically adjust people except my wife because I know she won't sue me.
Okay. Oh, I get it. I get it. But truly, you know, a lot of people, they don't keep up their office, their license, and all that. And they don't understand this, or people don't understand. They walk up to a doctor or a chiropractor and say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And even Deputy Doc here, thank you, by the way. We appreciate the follow-up. Deputy Doc, even, you can't give it. I mean, you can, for a friend, say, hey, get that checked or something. But you can be in trouble if you try to do something. They can come back and sue you. And that's why... Yeah, and if you let your license go, it's over. You're retired. Now, I don't know how that works for emergency. If you were driving down the road and saw an emergency, I think there's a Good Samaritan Act or something that helps people who are trying.
I've never been in that situation.
All right, that's it. So, yeah, Deputy Doc just told me that no one has ever been sued for being a Good Samaritan in Colorado. So that's good to know. Okay, so let's move on. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We're taking any and all calls. Calls have been a little lighter today. Sometimes we have phone trouble. I don't think that's it. It just might be a lighter day. So you can get your calls right in. One of the things we were talking about is I don't like to call it systemic racism because I don't believe there is systemic or institutional racism anymore. I think we have racism in parts, and sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. I don't paint with a broad brush. However, it's pretty obvious with that Aurora stop, mistaking a van for a motorcycle or supposedly thinking it was a stolen van. And there's a group of black girls in there, one adult and some kids as young as 6 years old, laying them out on the pavement face down with handcuffs is ridiculous. Come on. And I don't think there's an excuse for it, but it just adds fuel to the fire, right? And so I was asking people's opinion on that, and I think if it was a group of white girls, you wouldn't have seen that. I don't know why I say that, except, I mean, I don't have proof of that. Maybe because we never do hear those complaints or see them. And you might be thinking, well, maybe it happens, but white people don't complain. I doubt it. The other thing I want to mention, we were talking about represent.us. That's a movement supposedly from both sides of the aisle, progressives, conservatives, and independents who are trying to stop corruption in government through term limits, campaign finance reform, and some other measures that they believe hurt this country. They even want to make it possible for people to vote at home. I can see, boy, my God, you want to talk about corruption? To me, that's more corruption than anything. Voting at home, I don't know. Because I don't know how you would control that. Anybody who can hack can figure that one out. But I was wondering if you had a chance to look at any videos on YouTube from represent.us. That's the website and the name of the group. Just for the hell of it. I mean, what you think of it. I have not taken a stand yet on it. I want to know, do you think it's truly a sincere, nonpartisan effort? Or do you think it's just a sneaky ploy by liberals or conservatives? Now, most people think it's a sneaky ploy from liberals because of the people involved. They're mostly Hollywood. But they did involve Tea Party people and some Bush people and some other people. So take a look at it. Jennifer Lawrence did a video, and Michael Douglas did one as well. It's on YouTube. Joseph, what is going on with your rent, Joseph? Are you talking about your residence where you live?
Yes.
Okay. Do you get rent subsidies, or what kind of rent assistance do you get?
From Section 8.
Section 8. I got you. So what's going on?
After 20 years of paying rent on time,
yes,
they decided to increase the rent $60 a month.
Well, after 20 years, $50 a month, you know, they're not here. I don't know. Are they increasing the rent or decreasing the subsidy? Do you know?
Increasing the rent because
yes,
at the same time, they are getting a new place to live.
What do you mean? What do you mean a new place?
They've been moving around. This is the third place they are living in a new place in Littleton.
Who is living? What are you talking about? Their office is moving?
Yes.
Oh. And you think because they're moving their office, they're increasing your rent?
It's not just me. They are making other people that are getting Section 8 making more, paying more money for their voucher. It could have to look. They are probably making other people pay $100, $200 more a month.
Okay, Joseph, how much is your total rent when you add this increase? How much is it now?
$300.
That's pretty cheap. Are you on Social Security?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you get with
They know.
What?
They know that.
No, I
Social Security never. My Social Security never went up,
I know.
and I have.
Joseph, I don't think listen, let me just get right to the point. I don't think we can do anything about the rent increase. I don't think we can do anything about it. You're on Section 8 subsidized housing. If the landlord petitioned for an increase in rent and got it, then there's not much you can do about it.
The landlord never asked for any increase in rent.
The landlord did not ask for it?
Right.
Then I think then they're reducing the subsidy then. Something's happening. So you're blaming the government for this. How do you know the landlord did not ask for an increase?
Because I talked to him.
Okay. And he said it was all the government?
Yes. And I know for a fact through my landlord, he has other people that are on Section 8.
Got a break soon.
All right.
And these other people have to beg, borrow, or steal.
But Joseph, don't you think $300 a month is a pretty good rent in Colorado?
Not when I was paying $239 for 20 years.
I understand that. I know that. I know what you're saying, but $239, I think you're lucky that you went 20 or 30 years without a rent increase. I think you're lucky. I don't think there's anything we can do about it. We are going, listen, here's what we are going to do, though. Daphne, let's put Joseph in touch with Barb Shue at Angels Help, okay? That's the name of it, right? Do I have that right, Angels Help?
Yes, Angels Help.
Yeah, and Barb Shue. Just for the heck of it, let's exhaust the system to see if you're getting everything you should be getting. As a favor, let's just let her review your situation.
All right, got a break.
Ped has a warning we're going to take right after this. So, Ped, hang on the line. We got more coming right up.
Clear. 44 seconds.
It's Ross Kaminsky. Mornings at 6.
You're right. That's an incredible. For $300 a month for an apartment in Denver is
my God.
We'll talk about it Wednesday morning
You know,
at 7:05.
it's like rent control in New York.
What?
It's like rent control in New York.
Yeah.
So I sent you that from that detective, that Roar detective, retired.
I'm trying to find it. Hold on, for some reason.
I sent it to your email.
I know, I'm looking.
So one of the things he said, first and foremost in his mind, was coming home every night.
Exactly.
Okay. The 25 most dangerous jobs in America, police and sheriffs are number 16.
Oh, got it. Okay, Simply Floors Inc. says it all. They're Simply Floors. All floor coverings can be found at Simply Floors, 52nd and Ward Southwest corner, but you don't even have to go there. They'll come to you with all the popular samples of anything you're interested in. You just make your own appointment at simplyfloorsinc.com. You'll enjoy Buddy and Karen Mitchell's savings because they're passing them on to you. They just decided to make less profit, hire better people to install and service, so you get the best of everything, including discounts. simplyfloorsinc.com. Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan is not just an expression I came up with, it's for real. Every single loan is tailored for you. It's not one size fits all. That means they take that low rate and then they add to it anything you need. Like, for example, you might want a special term. You get your term. They also customize your credit for better pricing. And that pricing is for you and you alone. And they base that on little things. Like they might have you pay down a credit card here or there just to get better points. They know right where those tiers are and how to improve your credit. That's quick. It's legal. It's ethical. And then they have that interest rate guarantee. No matter when you refi, you got 2 years. If rates go up, they refinance you free of charge. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next ideal home loan. Started in 2001 by Brent. He's still in charge for Colorado. 303-867-7000.
If you see them placing your old...
Do you want me to send it to you again?
No, I got it.
Good.
It says... Aurora car stop, right? That's the heading?
Yeah, black. He said he was a common man. I don't remember him. I remember we had a Arapahoe County guy on.
And a 12-year parts and labor warranty. Plus, Excel Energy has up to $800 in additional rebates on qualified systems. That's a potential rebate of $25.50. I know that sounds too good to be true, but it is true. But you've got to call Dr. Fix-It today.
So let me get
303-907-7775. Let me say this again.
Aurora black car stop, right?
That's it.
Myself and those I work with.
No money down, zero interest.
Don't focus on color. Is he a black guy, this guy?
I don't think so. I don't know, though.
Wow. Call us today at 303-907.
The idea of making it home.
See, that pisses me off. That's just right there.
You know, I used to think that Medicare was one big complex mystery. What's covered?
That's what you're thinking about the whole time. Maybe you got to get your head in the game.
Got the answers I needed. In one call, I learned I could combine my Medicare coverage into a single plan for little or no extra money with the AARP Medicare Advantage plan from United Health.
I wouldn't have done it that way, but we don't know what their attitude was.
Come on.
Plus
freaking kids.
Like dental and 24/7 virtual doctor visits with zero copay.
I think the way he explains it here is the whole problem.
So if you are turning 65 or have questions about the mysteries of Medicare,
Because they fall back on that.
United Healthcare at 1-855-283-2836. That's 1-855-283-2836. Or go to getuhcmedicaretoday.com.
Paid active portrayal. Benefits and availability may vary by plan and location. United Healthcare Insurance Company pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are not insurers. AARP does not employ or endorse agents, producers, or brokers. This report is sponsored by Kraft's P3 Portable Protein Packs.
Rain 30%, but any storms that form could be severe. Today is a pinpoint weather alert day. The high 87. I'm Fox 31 pinpoint weather meteorologist Brooks Gardner.
Try Kraft's P3 Portable Protein Packs, a snack with up to 13 grams of protein from 3 delicious ingredients: meat, cheese, and nuts, because 3 is better than 1. P3 is packaged in convenient on-the-go containers, so if you have a hectic commute or need a boost of energy.
10 seconds, we're back.
Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app.
Now number 1 for podcasting.
630 KHOW, an iHeartRadio station.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right. I got a reaction from an Aurora cop. Is he retired? I think he is now. He's a retired detective. I'll go to that. Ped, what is your warning about face masks? I want to remind people we're taking calls with problems, questions, complaints, just getting something off your chest at 303-713-TALK. Ped, what's happening?
Well, Tom, I went and bought some more face masks at 7-Eleven the other day, and I was actually bothered to read the back of the little package that it comes in, and it's got a warning saying that it causes cancer and reproductive harm, a government warning.
What?
Yeah, I sent you a picture live at Troubleshooter.com. I also sent it to Suzanne. And look, the way I see it, the whole argument is, you want to make sure you don't spread it to anybody else. You don't be selfish. Well, how's it being selfish if I don't want to go sterile and get cancer?
I did not read a warning like that. I'll look into it. I don't know what they're talking about.
I sent you a picture of the package that it came in. I just figured that kind of makes it all the more questionable if that is true. Why are we being mandated to wear something by the government that causes cancer and reproductive harm, that the government says causes cancer and reproductive harm?
Okay, you did send it to me. You got it, Deputy Dan? Okay, good. He's going to put it up on our stream, YouTube, Facebook, the iHeartRadio app. Oh, they have audio only. And referralist.com, you can get video. Thanks, Ped. Appreciate it. Okay, what's on your mind, people? 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I want to read this letter from the cop here, retired detective. Here's what it says. Myself and those I work with at APD, Aurora Police Department, didn't focus on color. It's the nature of the contact surroundings and the attitude of the contactees that determined our treatment. The idea of making it home at the end of the day was foremost in my mind. I stopped whites similarly when the situation called for it, but they'd make a complaint and the public did not react. They didn't have cell phone video then. I'd hear you wouldn't have done it this way if they were white. Substitute hippie in the 70s and motorcycle clubs, etc. That said, I wouldn't have done it that way, but we don't know what their attitude was from their mouths. The cops' version hasn't been reported. Tom, you say you go out of your way to treat blacks and others better. So do many cops. But it's an uphill battle when the black community doesn't choose its battles. I don't know what that means. Anyway, everything is deemed a racist action. You, Tom, don't treat every caller the same. Their cooperation and response to you dictates much of your demeanor to them. You don't see them person to person. Danger is not an issue. Even with the proven safety tactics, cops are still injured and killed at excessive rates. Most contacts are potential for citizen-initiated danger. Cops react to the dynamics, then to the person. I'm sure I let my guard down contacting a guy in a three-piece suit also, but not totally. It's all situational, not racial. Okay. Man, that's a well-written letter. But he's saying their reaction has much to do with how your reaction is when you're stopped. And I've said this, I don't know. I don't even think that's right either. Police officers need, I know this is hard to say because I'm not a police officer, and you might say, yeah, try it. But aren't police officers supposed to be different? They're supposed to be a cut above. I mean, police officers, I think, need to be trained not to be goaded into a situation or react violently or anything. I mean, right? Don't they need different training? David, welcome. What's going on, David?
Hello, Tom.
Hey.
This is David.
Yes, David.
I was calling to see if let's get the phones ringing on the Troubleshooter network. I want everybody to start calling you to ask you what kind of car your dad and mom bought you when you were a teenager.
Well, okay, here's what happened when I was a teenager. It was just...
no, don't say it. Let everybody guess.
Okay, my first car. Okay, good. That would be good, actually.
Let's see what
In fact, I'll give away...
Dad bought Tom Martino.
I'll give away lunch. What do you think it was, David? Guess.
I already know. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, you already know?
I already know.
I want you to tell...
because I've been listening to you for years. So.
Okay, I want you to know...
I can't tell you right now.
All right, I want you to tell Daphne off the air, and she will let me know. But, David, thank you very much. And, by the way, for a man... I know you've been listening because I recognize your voice over the last 30 years. And you're the one I did a story with years ago on Channel 4, right?
Hold on, he's giving Daph the secret.
He is. I know he is.
I'm going to guess. Was it a Ford Bronco, Tom? Like an old school Ford Bronco?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a Ford.
Okay, no.
It wasn't a Ford Bronco. Anyway, I want to go through some hacks we were talking about too. Anything that you know about hacks, but how about this? And if you're a pilot, you are not allowed to answer. If you're a pilot, you're not allowed to answer. But when you're flying, let's say VFR. That's visual flight rules. So you're not in touch with towers or control necessarily. And you're flying across the country. How do the planes traveling east and west not hit each other? Well, obviously, you got to keep your eyes out, right? But there is another rule of thumb they follow that keeps them separated. Do you know what it is? Also, there's a list of sanitizers you should not use. It's very, very important. All right? Now, I'm going to go over this. The following chart outlines information on labels you should not use. Very dangerous. We'll talk about dangerous hand sanitizers right after this.
1 minute until QC make.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Ross Kaminsky in the morning and Dan Kaplis in the afternoon, 6:30 KHOW.
I'm sorry, Doc, did you say something?
Oh.
Yeah?
Now, Impact.
No, don't throw it in the trash. I'm gonna throw it. Oh yeah, that goes in recycle. I'm gonna throw all the food in one thing.
I'll put it back in the bag. You know, these masks with the warning that says cancer or reproductive harm. Again, they're made in China. Probably everything from China should say this. Should say cancer and reproductive harm.
On a mask?
On a mask.
You know what's funny? Somebody once said, "Well, China does things so wrong. Why are they so healthy?" And the truth of the matter is, they're not.
They're not.
Statistics, they're very unhealthy people in China.
Well, look at their air. They wear masks. Just, I mean,
and look how many of them smoke.
Yeah, that is. You're right. There's a lot of them that smoke. Of course, a lot of Europeans smoke too. Maybe
both wrong, right?
Well, Eastern Europeans.
Well, French. I thought a lot of.
They're getting less and less. The Eastern Europeans really smoke.
QCColorado.com. That's the website to find a quiet, cool whole house fan. Let me say that again. QCColorado.com. I'm going to give out the number, so if you want to get a pen or pencil or whatever, or record this, do it. But here's the deal. A whole house fan is just what it sounds like. It goes up in the top floor of your home, a small grate in the ceiling. It's remote mounted in the attic, so you don't hear it. No wires in the walls. It's all remote controlled. It's wonderful. Now here's what happens. It takes all the cool air from the bottom, it brings it through the house. It destratifies the air. It evens out temperatures. You can use it whenever it's cooler on the bottom floors. My air conditioner works only 10% of the time it used to. I save a ton of money, plus have great, fresh air. You will love your whole house fan. Takes only an hour or so to install. 720-398-4510. 720-398-4510. Okay, this next topic you hear me talk about. Here's what I want you to do. You want to be a know-it-all, then take down Joseph Lazara's number. He is a criminal defense attorney. And really, take that down as well as all my other tips. And when someone says, hey, do you know someone who can help my son or help my uncle or help somebody with criminal defense, or if you get into trouble, Joseph A. Lazara, 303-429-6200. Everyone deserves a criminal defense. That's what our foundation is in justice. And he provides a criminal defense at flat rate pricing, so you know the price up front and it won't change. You know, life isn't always perfect. So when you have a problem and you need help, Joseph A. Lazara. His website is lazaralegal.com. That's 2 Z's and 1 R. lazaralegal.com. He's also on my referral list at referrallist.com. 303-429-6200. That's 303-429-6200. Joe Lazara.
1 in 8 Americans struggle with hunger, yet more than 40% of the food we produce is thrown out. At Kroger,
you know, the other thing on Kaplis, I think he really hates. In fact, Ross was going to debate him on the marijuana. Never happened.
On what?
Marijuana. Have you ever heard Kaplis? He freaking thinks it's the scourge of America. But almost every show you hear from him.
Well,
and my dad was a police officer for 30 years in Chicago.
But how can you argue for marijuana? I mean, I wouldn't argue against it either, but how do you argue for it?
Well, it's easy. From a libertarian standpoint, why should the government regulate what you put in your body?
I agree.
That's the argument for it.
And it's a plan.
That's not it, though. I mean, so is cocaine.
No, it's processed. You can do
heroin.
Marijuana without processing. Seriously.
Yeah.
And there are beneficial effects.
Right, that's the other thing for many drugs. I mean, if you look at that, cigarettes. There's no benefits in cigarettes that I know of, anyway.
I wonder if this salad would be good tomorrow.
where it's all about you. Cool down your side and gather what she's doing. Diamonds directly from Israel because starting.
Well, granted, and I tell my son this, the worst thing I don't like about marijuana makes people lackadaisical.
I call it loser weed.
That's another one. It's when you use it like that and stuff so much every day.
It kills your motivation.
It absolutely does. That's I think the biggest. I always tell them when I was doing construction work in the summers, there was guys that just wanted to do construction, which was a crappy job, so they get unemployment and smoke dope in the wintertime. That's what they want. That was their motivation. To sit in an apartment all winter long and smoke crack.
Guys, let's fill this one up. I'll leave it outside the door here.
But if I was a cop, I'd rather arrest somebody on pot than I would in drunk from alcohol. There's not too many pot smokers that are mean. A lot of alcohol people. I don't think that guy looked at the whole video to say that. That's
on how they treated him.
Yeah.
It was out of order.
What's that site called? Contacts. I was wondering if Jennifer Lawrence. I want to watch it tonight.
Oh, you see the video though on YouTube.
Yeah. What's
it? Look up represent.us.
Represent.us. Okay.
And it's
It's Unbreaking America or something.
Yeah, that's the title of it. Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. RenewHomeInnovations.com. That's where you'll find Nick and the crew to do beautiful bathrooms and especially showers. And they have some great deals going on right now. So just remember that, RenewHomeInnovations.com. This month, they're proud to give 25% off, 12 months, same as cash. Renew Home Innovations.com, 303-904-2000, using all genuine parts from American Standard, including the wall system that doesn't need any kind of maintenance. Okay, so let's talk to Nicole. Nicole, what's going on in your life? Go ahead.
So, I was on the I-70. I was hit by a motorcyclist. He actually hit dead center of the trunk of my car. He ultimately did not have insurance. He was charged originally with DUI and reckless driving resulting in injury. Not for myself, but his wife was injured. He's now since taken a plea deal, so he's got a DWI and careless driving.
If you showed up at that hearing, they would have ordered restitution be paid to you.
Correct, and that's my question. So we still have the right to claim restitution. The DA has given us 90 days after sentencing.
Good, then do it.
To decide. What I'm unclear about is restitution the way to go or a small claims court the way to go? Because we can't clearly do both.
Who says you can't do both, by the way? Did someone tell you that?
The victim's advocate for Jefferson County.
Okay, if you go for restitution, here's the only problem. I had someone rip me off years ago, and they were ordered to pay restitution, and they don't enforce it.
Right.
So
that's our understanding as well. And the guy's he's an unsavory character.
But if you go to small claims court, you get a judgment. That's no good either if they don't have money, right?
Okay. Okay.
So
okay.
So really, if they don't have money and they're deadbeats, they're not going to pay you no matter what.
Right, and that's kind of what we figured. We didn't have any injuries. The damage to my vehicle was minimal. It's $1,000, but we're sort of on the principal side of things. You were wasted in the middle of the day with your wife and no helmet on a motorcycle on the highway.
God, you're going to win. But here's what I would do. Here's what I would do. I would take the restitution from the courts, and then if he doesn't pay, I would turn that into. I would go to court and get a judgment. That's the way I would handle it. I wasn't sure if we were allowed to do that. No, you're not. Okay. First of all, no matter what they tell you, you are allowed to go to small claims court. They can't tell you not to unless you sign something saying you won't. But I don't think I never had to sign something for my restitution order at court. They did it on their own. They ordered restitution to me. This guy makes payments every now and then. But if he doesn't make payments, they do nothing about it.
Right, yeah, and that's what the victim's advocate was saying for sure. She said it's basically like a collections company.
Right. Okay.
If you think of it in those terms. So,
but if they listen, a court-ordered restitution is better than nothing. Once that's done, if he stops paying and they won't do anything about it, then you go to small claims court. Then you have the best of both worlds. That's the way I would do it. 303-713-TALKS. Thank you. 713-8255. If you have a problem or a question, complaint, give us a call. And any comments, of course. A caller asked, how do you sell a car privately and not get ripped off? I'm going to tell you that after I tell you the dangerous hand sanitizers, because this is what you avoid. Ready? Okay. FDA urges consumers not to use certain hand sanitizer products. First of all, a product that is found to contain or contains methanol. Okay? Believe it or not, in Mexico, they have hand sanitizers with methanol. They might make it over the border. So, if it's tested and there's methanol, or if it's on the label, or if you know it contains methanol, avoid it. Also, there are some hand sanitizers that actually have microbial contamination. And the problem is that's only found by testing, but the government tests them randomly and will put out, and say this has had microbial contamination. Anything being recalled by the manufacturer or distributor, don't think, oh, I'm just going to use up what I have. Also, if it has less than, I believe I say 70%, some people say 60%. I say 70% ethyl alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, or benzalkonium, what is that called? Anyway, chloride. But basically, I look for alcohol. Ethyl or isopropyl, you want at least 70%. The stuff I get's 95% alcohol. In fact, there's no secret to my hack. I use an electronics cleaner that is basically 100% isopropyl alcohol. It's a spray. That's what I use. I bought it in the very beginning of the pandemic because people did not know enough to hoard it because it says electronics cleaner. But the only ingredient is isopropyl alcohol. That's it. Nothing else. It's 100% isopropyl in a spray can, and it's wonderful. I use it for everything, for surfaces, for my hands, for my face mask, for everything. If I take it to the gym even and spray down the handles before I work out. Now, really, you have to avoid anything with methanol. That's the main message. Obviously, you want to avoid something with microbial contamination, but who the hell is going to test for microbial, right? The government. Now, I would personally avoid anything, as far as a hand sanitizer, made in Mexico. Now, there is a whole list that the government already did test, and they have names on them, like Bloomin' Clear. Bloomin' is a bad name. Bloomin'. B-L-U-M-E-N. If you have a Bloomin' sanitizer, you're bloomin' crazy. Another one called Claire and Danver. That's K-L-A-R. So Clar and Danver. Clar and Danver. Another one called Modessa. Modessa. M-O-D-E-S-A. So Modessa, Clar and Danver, and Bloomin'. Bloomin' has a lot of bad sanitizers. Oh my God. Almost every one they have turned out bad. And then also,
Tom?
yes.
Some of the stores that I've been to, you know, have hand sanitizer now, and it smells like tequila, and it makes me sick. Or I want a margarita, one of the two.
Well, you know, that alcohol doesn't work, by the way, because it doesn't have a high enough alcohol content. People think it does. Now, Everclear, I believe, does. Everclear will work, but just regular vodka or something is not going to work, and tequila. But really, you know, Daphne, a lot of people are making their own, and they think just putting alcohol in there is going to help. It has to be 70% alcohol. Now, I'm getting all of this from a site, FDA.gov. You have to drill down. It's a pretty long URL, but basically it's FDA.gov/drugs. And then you go to safety and availability, and it will let you know the hand sanitizers. I'm going to come up with more brands than Bloomin', Modessa, and Clark and stuff, whatever that other one was. I'm going to come up with more after this. I urge you to call in if you have any problems, questions, complaints. Willie, we'll get to you right after this.
Clear. About 1 minute.
Now, Impact Traffic. This recording is sponsored by the podcast Forgotten Women of Juarez. There's a couple of spots in town to watch out for some police activity.
Where'd you find that list? I'll put it up. How many spots?
I don't know if we can. Here.
Okay.
It's right here.
So you can't just copy.
Look, it's a long article URL. There's no I wish there was an easy way to do that.
I got this list of 9 of them, but none of them have that like Bloomin' and everything. It's like Clean Care. Jeez, I might even have this Clean Care.
Hello Kitty. Assured.
None of this.
You know what? I should just do a post on this.
Yeah, that's not a bad post.
Impact Traffic and Weather. I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30 K-How.
That's a really good idea.
All right, 15 seconds till 5.
Investigates a series of murders that have haunted the U.S.-Mexico border for almost 30 years. To find out more, listen to Forgotten Women of Juarez on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
MileHighEstatePlanning.com and Blake Harris. You need to call them to protect your legacy. What is protecting a legacy? It means protecting it while you're alive from lawsuits and vultures. It means protecting it when your heirs get it so they don't squander it. It means transferring it efficiently without taxes. It means providing for your long-term care and saving tons of money by protecting your assets and still getting all the benefits you're entitled to, legally, ethically, and quickly. MileHighEstatePlanning.com does it all. And when they establish trusts, they help you fund those trusts. They don't give empty advice. They follow through and take care of it all for you. Blake Harris is the heart of this operation, and he will talk to you personally. 720-924-6171. Protect your legacy. MileHighEstatePlanning.com.
On your register, aging processes of life that we can't control, Michael Brown threw us some exciting news. The groundbreaking advanced FUV treatment for advanced hair restoration is finally here in the Front Range, delivering nationally recognized and a proven way to reverse balding, receding, and even thinning hair. You know, I can't wait for my...
All right, why didn't we get... never mind, doesn't matter.
Energy I once had with a full head of hair. So don't wait like I did, because there's never been a better time than right now to address your needs. With advanced care you always have, and you will always get the highest standard of care that goes well beyond CDC guidelines. It just takes one day. It's pain-free, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow. And yes,
I hear that says Kaplis went off on...
schedule your free consultation.
He went off and truly believes marijuana legalization should be repealed. Wow, he said that forever. He said it's the worst. It's a scourge.
Here, look. This is what
Hey, what is that?
That's a mock-up. What does it look like?
Looks good.
Well, how are we going to get people to write columns? Well, you can write one yourself.
No, I'm doing them all now for the inaugural edition.
Where am I?
Hey, I want to write a column. I want to figure out some scams.
Okay. Okay. Let me know.
I will. Just let me know how many words you want. That's so cool. So is it going to be free? Well, that or is it going to be
And how to protect your home?
is it going to be subsidized by advertising, or are you going to charge for it, Tom?
With home values still at their highest
Huh?
level,
Are you going to support it by advertising, or are you going to charge for it?
the best time to be
I don't know.
prepared if the
You
economy...
mean charge? What do you mean by charging?
Well, are you going to sell it, or are you going to have it
I don't-
subsidized by
I don't know.
advertising, so people
no.
don't have to purchase?
No. Oh, the magazine itself is free. Yes.
Okay.
It's
You know where I'm...
yeah. Okay, you're right.
We can show you how to access your
You're right.
equity in these uncertain times, to give you peace of mind and allow you to focus on what's important.
I think that's a great idea.
Call
I do too.
Mortgage at 720-895...
Dan, you call it a racket ball column?
720-895-0500.
I'm not getting ripped off at the gym.
Our reputation of putting you first with straight answers and listening are unmatched in Colorado. Let us help you protect your home. Take AIM, 720-895-0500,
That's it.
where it's all about you.
That'd be funny, huh? So I'm supposed to play him tomorrow, so I'll ask for the $5. You did pay me my beers, though.
Well, you know what? I always pay my debts immediately.
No, you do. You really do. In fact, you sent the $5. Wait,
You're right. Like I said, I always pay my debts. I told that to my son. He said, there's nothing wrong with gambling or betting with your friends, but you better have the money to pay it off if you're gonna make a bet.
Jeez,
Don't be one of those people who welches on a bet.
So, back where I'm from, in the wintertime, long winter and stuff, fighting, gambling, and drinking. So they got into where it used to be, you might lose $150 or something. Then they started playing to thousands.
Wow.
And then a guy might lose 10,000. They'd say, a lot of it was blackjack.
Okay.
Blackjack. They would say, okay, because they knew they weren't going to get it. Pay me $2,500 now, and I'll call giving them slack.
And they get some money.
But the next time the tables might be turned, and the guy says, no, I want the whole amount of money. It basically tore everybody apart back there and stuff. It's just stupid.
And who's dealing blackjack?
They would do each. They go around.
Oh, okay, because the house has an advantage.
Now they do it a little different. I don't think they paid 1.5 for blackjack. It was just double. But even so, I mean, when and that's what I tell them is, why would you do that? If you don't have the money there, you don't play.
Right. That's why you never play at a poker table if people don't buy chips. None of this all opinion and sweet thing.
Right, exactly.
You buy your chips at the table.
Yeah. But seriously, when you start looking, that was 25 years ago. They were playing for $10 grand.
Wow.
And stuff. But it was funny money.
Regal Select Paint. Go to GUIRYS.com to print coupons. Sky Race, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino. Listen, hand sanitizers, I'm going to get to them, okay? It's really important. I'm going to try to figure out a way to post all these bad brands. There's just so many, but it boils down to a few brands. But I'm not going to do it right this minute. I promise in the next hour I'll get to every brand. But because I have callers I want to get to, I promise to get to them. And then also we're going to talk about selling your car privately without getting ripped off. Willie, what's going on with you? How do we help you, Willie?
Well, they got my mom's house on brochures and saying, "Hey, Brenda, do this look familiar? We would like to buy your house." And it's in the brochures, and it's taking pictures of her car.
Now wait a minute.
Everything.
A company is trying to get your mom to sell her house, right?
Right.
But she doesn't have to do it.
What do you mean? Are they bugging her? They're not advertising it, are they?
Yeah, they advertising it. I got all the cards and stuff right here.
Wait a minute. They have the house listed for sale?
They got the house listed for they want to sell it. It's on brochures and it's called clear sale or something.
Okay, but Willie, your mom owns the house, right? Does she own it?
Yes.
Does she have a mortgage, or is it paid for?
Oh, it's paid for.
So her house is free and clear. Now, are they claiming? Okay, Willie, this is important. Are they claiming that someone else owns it?
No, they ain't claiming none of that. It says it's a brochure that they send to her with the TV guide and everything. It got her house on it, and it says, "Hey, Brenda, we wanted to buy your house. Get a free cash offer." And it's her face, her house.
So what's wrong with that?
Her car.
But what's wrong with somebody offering to buy it? You don't have to accept it.
Yeah, but it should be on a brochure.
On a what?
It's a terms of a brochure, like
a brochure. Okay, here's what I think they did, Willie. I think they made a custom brochure on their computer for her. In other words, I don't think it's on everybody's brochure. I think they send custom brochures to the people and houses they're targeting. Is there a way you can get us a copy of that? Can you take a picture of it or something with your phone and get it to us? I don't think there's anything to worry about. I don't think you need to worry about it. Really. Willie, Daphne, see if you can get us a copy of it. I think it's just a clever way of marketing. They probably took some pictures from public record or somewhere, or took pictures of the house and then sent her a brochure saying, "We want to buy your house." Patricia, what's going with you? What's happening?
Well, I am looking to get my residential in-home fire sprinkler system repaired. I initially called the outfit that installed it, and I spoke with them twice, and both times they said they would call back, and they never have. So I tried another place today.
Hey, Patricia, you hold on, and we'll find you somebody, but I want to ask you something. This is for an inside sprinkler system for fire prevention, right?
Correct.
Okay, those are very rare, by the way, for houses. Is it because it's a large house?
No, it's a 3-story townhouse.
All right, you hold on. We'll talk about it. I have not heard about many private residences having them, but hang on.
Yeah. Fire prevention. Big houses require certain houses.
Is that a new? They're very expensive to maintain.
Yeah, there were some houses that require it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the law is. There were certain areas or...
There was a criteria that you had to...
Yeah, extremely expensive. And then maintenance and stuff, they got to keep on pressure testing them. And
Best of all, there are never any upfront fees and never any obligation.
One of those things that sounds good, but not really.
And so much to gain by spending just 10 minutes on the phone with one of their mortgage consultants. They're even open nights and weekends to fit your schedule, so give them a call at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
MLS 18234, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
KRFX HD2 Denver.
This is Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW, Denver.
An iHeart radio station.
ABC News, I'm Will Reed. Power outages stretching from the Carolinas to New Jersey and New York as Tropical Storm Isaias moves toward New England. ABC's Rob Marciano is in Wilmington, North Carolina.
We're definitely seeing some of the wind energy from the jet stream coupled with that tropical system. So that's why we're not seeing it weaken as fast as we would typically see. But we're still have winds that are actually close to hurricane strength. So even more people will see the damaging wind. Inland parts of New Jersey and Manhattan could easily see damaging wind gusts of 40, 50, maybe even 60 miles an hour, and that will carry into New England. So huge population here being impacted with destructive weather.
Democratic and Republican leaders continue to negotiate a new stimulus plan. That comes as the $600 per week supplemental unemployment benefit expired Friday. In Lebanon, a massive explosion in Beirut. There are reports of injuries and widespread damage at a building near the port. This is ABC News. They built it, but people won't come. Major League Baseball is reportedly set to scratch this summer's Field of Dreams game.
People will come, Greg.
Just not in 2020. The first ever Major League Baseball game to be held at the Field of Dreams Field in Dyersville, Iowa, August 13th is off.
You don't believe how many guys want to play here.
When MLB shifted to a shortened schedule, the White Sox were supposed to play the Cardinals August 13th. Now, as the Cardinals deal with more than a dozen cases of COVID-19, the league has opted to scrub the Field of Dreams game, at least for this season. So no game, but
catch.
Ryan Bro, ABC News.
The technology is still in early stages, but scientists hope it can help people with prosthetic limbs. The device is made of 100 small sensors and is less than a quarter of a square inch. Researchers at the National University of Singapore say it can process information faster than the human nervous system and is able to recognize about 30 textures. We'll read ABC News.
What do you think of artificial intelligence? Do you ever think...
God, you know what? I never thought it'd be so big. I think it's going to be huge.
It'll be really achieved. I mean, total, where it learns upon itself. So,
I kind of do.
Well, I think if we can create artificial intelligence that starts thinking on its own, truly,
It's going to happen.
people will have a hard time arguing the non-existence of God. Because if we are instinctually trying to create something independent and artificial life, then that means it's not so far-fetched. And I think we're going to see people trying to do artificial intelligence.
Free access to product specialists.
The biggest argument against creation has been why.
Has been why?
You know, why would you, why? I mean, you're perfect, you're all-knowing, everything's perfect. Why?
Granger, 41, you get it done.
I think it's a little scary, to tell you the truth. Because it's going to take away from...
What's that?
I think artificial intelligence, it would just take away from just the humanistic of it.
Incentivize work by giving those unemployed individuals more money. Man, I'll tell you what though, what a incredible...
But again, you know, all that programming is garbage in, garbage out. Just like all the studies of global warming or whatever and stuff, all the models, garbage in, garbage out.
Well, yeah, there's no question.
Everything is garbage in, garbage out.
But what I'm saying is that, you know, if you do that they think upon themselves, if they don't have everything down perfect, they could create a catastrophe. And everybody thinks this has got to be the way to go.
Now, Impact Traffic. This report is sponsored by Colorado Department of Transportation.
Have you ever known a real alcoholic? Like somebody who truly has to drink every day and drinks multiple times and gets shit-faced and really?
Not shit-faced, but functioning alcoholics.
I mean, I knew guys at the poker table who just get blitzed.
I just don't know how.
How did they do in poker?
I don't know how. I hate that feeling of being drunk, and I hate fucking hangovers. I don't know how people can like it.
I could never, just because I get bad hangovers, I could never be a total alcoholic. Not in my family, but I do know a functioning alcoholic.
I could be.
My parents never had a drink until they were in their 70s or 80s. And then my brother, who's a winophile, started getting him to have a glass of wine with dinner, and then now they couldn't for the last 20 years have dinner without a glass of wine. But they have one glass of wine with dinner.
Well, I know a guy after retired and stuff, and he says he's a bottle every day, at least.
Wow.
But I know people talk about they drink a 12-pack. It's just not. Can you imagine drinking a 12-pack of beer every day?
I can't imagine just the volume.
Just the volume. Do you know how bad that would be on your kidneys and liver?
It's terrible.
Well, not so much kidneys, livers. I guess it just really.
Yeah.
What is this BLUMEN? See if you can even find it.
Is that hand sanitizer? What is it? BLU?
MEN.
BLUMEN?
Advanced antibacterial.
Oh, that's from Costco. That was at Costco. Jeez, is this something I got? Bloomin'. Now I got to look all this up. I never bought one, but I was given one. Bloomin'.
Clar in Denver.
Michael Brown says, quote, I'll do everything we can, close quote, to make Joe Biden the most progressive president in history. Oh, really? Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, Bernie's really behind him.
This is the
Hey, I'm Tom Martino. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. And I'm putting together a list of bad hand sanitizers. They are downright deadly. I mean, not over time, but they're wrong. They're bad. This Bloomin' that was sold at Costco, yeah, Bloomin', BLUMEN. Like all of their stuff seems to be bad. Just please beware of them. And Hello Kitty, something called Assured hand sanitizer. Okay, I'm going to have more. Go to fda.gov to find out. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. Tom and the promo code gets you a discount of 30%. RealCBDThatWorks.com. Let's talk Patricia and then some other stuff. Okay, Patricia, go ahead.
Like I mentioned, I had called the people who installed it, Western States, twice, and they said they'd get back to me, and they haven't in over a month.
And the name of the company, is Arapahoe Fire and Protection.
They're the ones that I called today, and because I saw that they were part of your referral list, even though
they're not. They're not. We can't find them on there. Where did you find them?
I found them on Google, and
they said they were part of our referral list.
Yes.
Their logo is on their our logo is on their Facebook or their page.
Are you kidding me? Did you let Mark know?
I let Dan know. I put a little note up for Dan.
Mark is our enforcer. Oh my goodness. They have our referrallist.com logo on there. Oh,
it's the old logo.
Man, I want to tell everyone, if you hear about someone being on a referral list, you got to check it out for yourself. I mean, really, this is out and out thievery. Okay, so do you need someone? I wouldn't use them. You didn't pay anything to anybody, so let's find you a company, okay?
Line one, Tom.
Jim. Hello, Jim. Now, you're with Mountain States Fire Protection, right, Jim?
That's correct.
Okay, and tell us, do you service sprinkler systems? What do they call them? Sprinkler systems?
Fire sprinkler systems.
Yeah. I didn't know many houses had them, Jim.
Oh, yes.
Really? Why do people put them in? Do you get a discount on insurance?
Yes, you get a discount on insurance, and a lot of locations are required by the codes.
I didn't know that. Okay, so Mountain States Fire Protection, how long you been in business?
We've been in business for 48 years. We're a family-owned business.
And did you happen to hear about this and called in?
Yes, I heard you on the radio.
Good. Now, Jim, what do you do in addition to servicing fire sprinklers? What else do you do?
We install and inspect backflow preventers also, and we do the fire extinguishers, and we work with fire alarm companies to do the whole complete package.
Now, do you work with homes and businesses?
Oh, yeah, we do commercial and residential.
Well, thank you for calling in. I did not realize a lot of residences are going with sprinkler systems. And
absolutely.
Do you do any halon systems for like computer rooms and stuff?
No, we have subcontractors that do that with us.
Okay. And again, I think people do not realize, I swear to you, I had a little tiny fire, and I have a fire extinguisher. It was in my garage, and it was out in less than 10, 15 seconds because I noticed it. You know how many people, Jim, don't have a simple fire extinguisher at home?
There's a lot.
I would have one. Where would you have one? I'd have one under the sink in the kitchen. I'd have one in your garage. Where else would you have one?
I put them anywhere gas-fired appliances are and your garage.
Yep. Okay, well, listen, thank you very much for calling in. We're going to put you together with Patricia. Patricia, Jim said they've been in business since '72. We have no reason to doubt them. Mountain States Fire Protection. And then we ought to check him out, Daphne. It sounds like a good company to have on our list. 303-713-TALK. Let me tell you, Mountain States Fire Protection, their number is 303-778-8193. 303-778-8193. Thank you for calling in. If you now, I'm going to go over how to sell your car and then bad hand sanitizers as well. Okay, to sell your car with a lien or without a lien, that's what you need to know. And there's a difference. Carl, go ahead. What did you want to say, Carl? What's happening? Carl?
Hey, Tom, how are you, man?
Good. You have a comment on Compass Insurance Group?
Yeah, my insurance was due, so I called them and I was doing some shopping around.
Good.
They saved me almost 48% on my current policy.
48% savings from Compass Insurance. Wow. Hey, Carl, I'm glad you called them. And it's 303-996-9000. We tell people, do an insurance checkup, and you will be shocked. There's no obligation, and these guys will be totally honest with you. So thank you. 48%, Carl. I appreciate the information. Okay, selling a car on your own. If you sell a car with a lien on it, it's way more complicated than without a lien. If you have a loan on the car, you're not going to get the title until it's paid for, and you can't pay for it until you get the money to sell it. So the best way to do it, if you can, is to pay off the lien and get your title and then sell it. But if you know it's sold, if you can borrow the money or use a credit card or something to pay it, fine. If not, what you have to do is ask whoever, if it's GMAC or if it's a bank like a Wells Fargo, you need to ask whoever it is ahead of time, please get my title on premises because I'm going to come by and pay it off. And the way you do it is you go to the bank or place that has the paper. You ask them to process a payoff, right? You meet the person buying the car. I'm sorry, but this is what you have to do. The person buying the car then will write 2 checks, one for the payoff and one for the leftover. Or 1 check to the bank, and the bank will then pay themselves off and give you a check for the difference. But you must be at the bank that holds title, so title can be transferred to the new owner. That's the way it is. And it can be difficult. Another way to do it is just do it consignment with a dealer, and they can handle that. There's something called an envelope draft that a bank can do when they're working with dealers and sometimes consumers. And what that is the person pays you, you put the payoff in the envelope and send it away, and then they send the title back. Many times people won't trust you to pay it off and pay you first and then wait for the title, because some people have gotten the title and then refuse to hand it over. So it's very dangerous to buy a car with a lien on it. Now, if you're selling a car free and clear, it's pretty easy. You sell the car. You do a bill of sale for the true selling price. Don't play games. You sign over the title, put the mileage on there, and you're done. It's not a complicated process. 303-713-8255. Also, we've been talking about hand sanitizers on the crap list. Bloomin', B-L-U-M-E-N, bad news. Clar and Danver. Dan, did you look that one up, Clar and Danver? I've never heard of Clar and Danver before, but that is one on the poop list, and you should watch out for them. And Hello Kitty is another one. Assured is another one. Assured. And they are, you have to see where they're sold, but if it has the name Assured. Now, I'm not saying they're all dangerous, but the FDA has found problems with them. And let's see what else. Next. N-E-X-T. Next. Also, Lumaskin.
Got a break soon?
Lumaskin. Most all of the bad ones are produced in where? Where do you think? Mexico. Almost all of the bad ones are in Mexico. Isn't that something? So what does that tell you? I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't make this up, but they're made in Mexico. Everyone on the banned list so far, everyone has been from Mexico. Every one of them. Now, what does that tell you, Dan? I'm looking for one that is not manufactured in Mexico on the bad list. And so I would say, you know what I would say? I don't care if people get mad. Don't buy them if they're made in Mexico, period. We got more coming up.
Clear. Sheridan Auto Tech in about 16 seconds.
So there's one guy on Facebook said when you distill, methyl alcohol is the first distillation that comes out. And they usually throw that away, he says.
Available on over 2,000 devices.
Sheridan Auto Tech is the place to take your car for honesty, integrity, value, and convenience. On Colfax and Lakewood, just west of Wadsworth, on Havana and Aurora, just south of 6th Avenue. Uncle Kevin Calkin, I call him Uncle, okay, just because he's big, friendly, and he's honest. He just reminds you of an uncle, a favorite uncle, and he'll treat you like family. He's got thousands of customers who rely on him for regular maintenance or emergency maintenance, whatever it is, he'll do it. He keeps track of your car for you, just like a big brother or like Uncle Kevin should. 303-455-7242. 455-7242, SheridanAutotech.com.
I can't stress great quality with great service and great prices. I'm consumer advocate Mark Major, and I'm talking about Master Rooter Plumbing. Whether you have a clogged drain or need a toilet replaced, all the way to sewer line replacement, Master Rooter Plumbing has you covered. Free estimates with no trip charge in the Denver metro area. 720-434.
Hey Tom?
What's that?
You calling that magazine 303 Consumer?
720-434-30.
Yes.
You think you're going to alienate people who live in the 720 or the 719 or 970 area codes?
Only garage door company I personally endorse.
Well, it's only for the front range. 720. It's just a name.
I know.
I don't think it's going to. No, I don't think.
Okay,
I don't think it'll have any problem. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I see an Art of Granite all the way at the bottom, so you'll have an Art of Granite in this break as well, okay?
When do you want that?
Getting it today.
We can do it like after this one in a minute if you like.
All right.
Like 55 this one.
All right.
Your credit cards or personal loans can cost you a lot of money, but it doesn't have to be this way. Hey guys, it's Ross Kaminsky, and if you're a homeowner, you can refinance any high-interest debt into your mortgage at a much lower rate, creating up to maybe $1,000 a month in monthly savings, maybe more. It just takes a 10-minute call to American Financing to get started. We'll work with a dedicated mortgage consultant, someone who will customize a loan program to achieve your financial goals. There's no pressure, no upfront or hidden fees, and you don't have to start your loan term over. Instead, you can choose any term you need, which can mean tens of thousands of dollars in long-term interest savings. You might even be able to postpone 2 more
10 seconds to long range for Vigo.
695-7000 to learn more. That's 303-695-7000 or online at AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 18234, regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Theartofgranite.com is the website for our direct stone importer, Mitch Fluria. You can get a price on the phone because really it's simple. He charges for the fabrication and installation, and he knows what that's going to be based on square footage. So if you call him on the phone, you will get a price on the phone. That's right, just measure it out. He tears out, hauls away free, does the bathroom free when you do the kitchen. It's really a great place to do business, and you can have your counters in 2 weeks. Theartofgranite.com, 303-386-5919, and also, of course, on my referral list at referrallist.com.
You'd likely to be.
Hey Tom, could you put up the list of bad hand sanitizers for dads? She's got a lot of people calling.
I'm doing it right now. I'm making a list. It's really hard because it's on this stupid convoluted website. But that's exactly what I'm doing right this minute. I'm looking at them.
Making a list.
Yeah, and then I'll send them, or I'll post them on Facebook, and that's what I'll do.
Now, having seen the results,
Basically, they're all in gold. They're all in frickin' Mexico. I swear to God, they are.
That's what it says, yeah.
we're nothing like the online pill company.
Is one of them called Assure?
Yep.
We offer many different protocols, and even if this new medication doesn't work for you, we have
Assured for sure is on there. Hello, Kitty.
90%. In fact,
Yeah, so we just had a call to ask about that one specifically. We're just going to let them know to put it up on the Facebook page.
you'll get a consult, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call us today at 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
I look at that as really firm.
I need something a little softer than that. Rest easy. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed, you can both adjust your comfort with your Sleep Number setting.
Can it really help me fall asleep faster?
Yes, by gently warming your feet.
Okay, but can it help keep us asleep?
It senses your movements and automatically adjusts to keep you effortlessly comfortable. Sleep Number, proven quality sleep is life-changing sleep. And now, save up to $500 on select Sleep Number 360 Smart Beds, plus special financing on all smart beds, only for a limited time. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com. Special financing subject.
Have they all been recalled because of methyl alcohol?
What's that?
Have they all been recalled because of the methyl alcohol?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You mean if they have been recalled?
Yeah, is it because of the alcohol or is it...
Every fucking one of them is made in Mexico.
That's what they said.
Every one of them.
Breast cancer diagnosis.
Every one of them.
FindYourMBCVoice.com to find your strength, to find your community, to find your MBC voice.
Time is of the essence when communicating your brand. Penn Business Network provides hyper-intelligent digital marketing.
Oh my God.
Maximizes your
Every
ROI.
one of them.
Transforms your business. Penn's marketing platform converts numbers into data to identify, target, and convert customers. Think of it as digital DNA. Visit PennBusinessNetwork.com or call 866-233-5705. Work smarter, sell more, waste less, and empower your marketing with Penn Business Network.
This report is sponsored by Westera Credit Union.
Isolated thunderstorms in the forecast.
Back on about 30 seconds.
This form could be severe. Today it's a pinpoint weather alert day. The high 87. I'm Fox 31 pinpoint weather meteorologist Brooke Storm.
Westera Credit Union is looking for people as excited about the future as they are. If you're a mortgage loan officer, processor, or underwriter, talk to Westera. They have an 85-year history, but think like a startup, and you can help build it. Go to WesteraCU.com.
10 seconds.
Station. Available everywhere with the iHeartRadio app.
Now number 1 for podcasting.
630 KHAL, an iHeartRadio station.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I swear to you, I'm going through this list of dozens of sanitizers, dozens of them. And every single one of them so far, every single one of them is made in Mexico. Every one of them that has been banned or has trouble with the FDA. Now, I'm going through making a list, and I'm going to put it on my Instagram. That's Real Tom Martino. And I'm also going to put it on my Facebook later. I just can't do it while I'm live on the radio. I've been trying to do it, and I'm being distracted, and I sound like an idiot. So it's Real Tom Martino. We'll have it on there, and that's all I can tell you. So it's REAL Tom Martino, 2 M's, and then I'll also have that on my Facebook page for referral list.
and in other places. But my goodness, every single one of these, I've just not seen anything like it. I've just never seen anything like this, where there are so many, no matter what the name, they're made in Mexico. So I think it's just safe to say avoid Mexican hand sanitizers. Now, Carlos has a comment on sprinklers in the home. Go ahead, Carlos.
Hey, good afternoon, Tom.
Good afternoon. What's happening, man?
Hey, so I just heard you talking about folks who have sprinkler systems at home. I've got one. Been living northeast of DIA out on some property there since 2003. And when we built out there, it was code to have a sprinkler out there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and at first I thought it was maybe because the fire department was far away. Then a few years ago, they built a firehouse 3 miles away. But it's because if there is, God forbid, a fire there, they'll show up. There's just no fire hydrants out where we live. We're all on wells. We all have properties. You know, I got 9.5 acres, but there's just nowhere for the fire department to plug in. So it's to kind of give them a little bit of a shot to, hopefully bat it down before they just show up with whatever they can carry in a truck.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. So right now, does your system require a lot of maintenance?
No, we haven't. We haven't touched it. But now that I heard about that other guy calling in, I don't know. I may schedule him to come on by and take a peek.
Okay. Well, thank you.
I got 500. Yeah, I got 500 gallons of water down there. Never gets used.
Wow. Thanks for calling. Yeah, I guess if you're out in the country and stuff, that the sprinkler system might be good to use. By the way, somebody just wrote to me. They have their garage spring broke, and they said, I doubted what you said about lifting up the door, but you're right. See, springs keep the door up, not down. When you have a garage door spring, it's spring-loaded to keep the door suspended up high. So garage door openers actually push the door closed against the spring and then release tension, and the spring is mostly picking it up. Your garage door opener cannot pick up that garage door if the spring is broken. And this person has a broken spring, so One Clear Choice Garage Doors, I've said it before, 24/7 or whenever you need them. And they do inspections as well. If you're buying a house, they do new openers, new doors. It's oneclearchoicedoors.com. So oneclearchoicedoors.com. But yeah, that opener will never open your door. You're going to burn it out because your spring is broken. And if you release it, the opener, you can't lift the door up. Really, and if you do, it's dangerous, because if you lift the door up and you have nothing like a big steel piece or something wedged in there to keep it open, it could fall on somebody and kill them. Those doors are heavy, so to keep it up, even if you guys get it up, don't leave it up there on its own, because it doesn't take much for it to want to roll back down, because it wants to be closed. OneClearChoiceDoors.com. Man, I'm so happy you wrote to me, because you could end up dead. Now, Nick, what's going on with you, Nick?
Hey, Tom. So I hired a landscaper to do a concrete patio and a fence for me. And the day that the concrete was poured, I paid him the second half, so I paid him in full. Everything, short of just a few minor things, everything was good. Well, fast forward a month, and I got a letter in the mail from a subcontractor. So he had hired another company to actually finish the concrete.
Okay.
So I got a notice of intent to file a lien. So they're claiming that they weren't paid by this guy.
And they're doing the right thing.
So, right. I'm just wondering what my options are.
All right, let's go over it. Let's go over it. What's the name of the garage door, of the landscaper, the landscaper you hired?
It's a Carpio Landscaping.
Carpio?
Carpio, yes.
C-A-R-P-I-O?
That's right.
Okay. Now, they were your general, right?
Yeah, he was just the general landscaper who I hired to do the whole job.
And then he did not pay his sub.
That's what they're telling me.
Okay, now here's the deal. In Colorado, there's a lien protection law. I helped get it passed years ago. Here's what it says. If the work is done on your primary residence, can we check off that box?
Yes.
And you had a full written contract, did you?
No.
Oh boy. You had no contract.
I mean, nothing signed. I mean, we had he gave me a quote, that I have printed out that we agreed upon. I mean, so a verbal contract.
How do you know? Wait a minute. How do you know you agreed to it?
Well, I mean, just verbally, we agreed that
but
that's
Nick,
what it would be.
Nick, I get it. But Nick, on that estimate, is the part for concrete that wasn't paid? Is that on there?
No, I don't guess. I don't follow you on that.
Okay. You said you have an estimate.
Yes.
On the estimate, does it break out the different sections like concrete work?
Not the concrete finishing itself, just like the whole concrete portion of it.
And how much does it say?
I'd have to pull it back up, but it was like 8,000 or 9,000, I believe.
For just the concrete?
Yes.
Okay. Listen, you're going to have a tough time, Nick. A really tough time. Because you didn't have a full contract signed. And here's what the law says. If you have it done on your primary residence, you have a written contract and proof of payment in full, then you have an affirmative action against a lien, which means they can put a lien on all they want, but they can never perfect it because you have that defense, and they'll lose. But you don't have a written contract, so let me tell you what could happen. This place puts a lien on it. You say, wait a minute, my general contractor,
gotta break soon.
Carpio, is supposed to pay for it. Carpio says, we never agreed to that. Okay, prove that they did, Nick. They're going to say, no, he was going to pay for the concrete separately. Okay, now prove I'm wrong, Nick.
Well, I have some text messages from him where he acknowledges that he hasn't paid and that he is going to.
Good. That's really good, Nick. Keep him, okay? Call the other company and see if you both can go after that guy together, because nothing's going to stop him from putting a lien on there. You can fight the lien, but it's better if they don't put it on there. I don't think they'll ever get your house. I wouldn't worry about it because it's, but really, you better take action. And we got to warn people about Carpio. Do you want us to call Carpio or do you want to handle it first? Why don't you handle it first and then call me back and tell them we're on the case and we're going to put their name out every day. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Let me know what happens, and we're on your side, okay? We'll help you. Call us back. 303-713-8255. More coming right up.
Clear. Nothing. It's actually nothing for the rest of this hour. Mark, but he's not here.
Talk Station with Tom Martino. Now, Michael Brown at 2, 630 KHOW, Denver.
Do you want me to call that has the logo on, or should I send it to Mark?
This report is sponsored by your local Ford store.
I did Tennessee.
You did at least twice.
I've done it more than that.
SUVs, but hurry, like summer, these savings will not last. Prices have made Ford proud. It's easier now during the Ford Summer Sales event on now at your local Ford
Frank
store.
Duran, I did, right?
Problems in the metro area.
Yes.
There's a crash on westbound I-70 at Quebec that's blocking the right lane, starting to back things up through there.
I did.
Also an accident on northbound I-20.
I did one.
Avenue blocking the right lane with backup to
And
Alameda.
I got to do Wink.
Does Compass do outside of Colorado? I don't think so.
Your forecast for today is the clouds and sun.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I don't know.
Here, I should give him a call on that.
And then tomorrow,
Someone's asking.
Some afternoon thunderstorms in store again with a high, again, right around 90.
Oh, if he calls back then, I'll follow up on that Carpio landscaping.
Carpio?
I'll take that
You
one.
had your roof replaced with an insurance claim in the last year.
And I'm working on the asphalt guys.
That bastard. Let me tell you, asphalt people are extremely shady. They are. Now this B&M, I know they advertise up on that. Remember even the one we
there was one, a Colorado.
You're very racist
asphalt.
against asphalt. Asphalt is black. What does that mean?
Do you remember?
Racist to try and fuck them over.
Do you remember that it was? What are those people that travel around?
Gypsies. You can't say that.
But you know, I had my ex-girlfriend's husband owned there was a big asphalt company in Colorado, and her ex-husband owned that company. And they did a great job.
We're not allowed to use the word gypsy.
We're not?
No.
Even though they call themselves gypsies?
You know what? Hold on. You know what gypsies mean? Now, gypsies is politically incorrect.
Really?
Yeah, because...
Well, they call them travelers?
Travelers.
I was told that gypsies was short for Egyptians.
No.
Well, okay. Then argue with the internet.
I will, because gypsies are people from Middle Europe.
That's what I thought. I thought it was Eastern Europe.
Gypsy.
Yeah.
I want to see what it says. Gypsy. A member of traveling people traditionally living. Gypsies speak a language of Romany and related. I wonder, is it incorrect or politically incorrect?
Why?
I know where gyp came from.
Okay, here. She is a gypsy. The politically correct term is a Roma. From Romania, Hungary, the Czech Republic.
Right.
But they are called gypsies in their own, but it says it's a racism term. Wait, hold on. Gypsies, let me just see. But every gypsy has a knife and a fleece, and the fleece do nothing. Let's see, it says later the young gypsy woman tried to explain to me, let's see, blah, blah, blah. She was still a gypsy. I had dozens of encounters. Anyway, I don't know what it is.
Then Cher's Racist, that song.
But that tolerant rarely sends it to gypsies. Well, come on, answer it. Is it wrong or right? You never even get to it. Is gypsy a...
Did you Google that? Hey Tom, go on Quora. You're a big Quora fan.
Online services. Get all of your answers for just $21 for a whole house electrical inspection from Plumline, a company I trust.
Who are the gypsies?
Ethics and your safety before profit. Excellence is Plumline's way. PlumlineServices.com.
It's a subgroup of Roma, nomadic peoples.
You know, I used to think that Medicare was one big complex. What's covered? What's not? Then I made one phone call to United Healthcare and got the answers I needed. In one call, I learned I could combine my...
I'm pretty sure they're just Colorado.
No extra money. With the
I'm pretty sure Compass is just Colorado. I can't...
I get more coverage than original Medicare.
Is gypsy
my prescription
wrong?
drugs are included, plus other great benefits like dental and 24/7 virtual doctor visits with zero copay.
You use the word gyp, right? Do you want gyp? You're going to gyp me or do you want to screw me? I'm sure that's from gypsies. Right?
Make that phone call to United Healthcare at 1.
Somebody said it, but this has nothing to do with Egyptians.
1-855-2832-2836 or go to getUHCMedicareToday.com.
Call real quick here. This guy, I like this guy down there.
Here's it. Our conclusion is that gypsy with a capital G is offensive to some people and should be used with caution. However, the non-ethnic use of gypsy with a small G should not be condemned.
What? Sorry.
We gotta hear.
Yes.
Next time you need a garage door repair or replacement, call Don's Garage Doors, 303-738-DOOR. That's 303-738-DOOR.
It is then offensive.
Only if it's with a capital G.
Fuck. Come on.
World's smartest and funniest comics and writers. It gets you caught up on the news without grinding you down.
There's gonna be like simultaneous threads of history that are coming together at once. That I'm like, which one am I? Yeah, let's look through all the history at once.
It sounds like a TikTok challenge.
Hey Kristen, this is Dan from the Tom Kino Show. Hey, we had a caller calling and just asked, do you guys cover all that?
Wherever you listen to podcasts.
So they want to recall Romany.
Ideal.
30 seconds.
loan. No two loans are the same. They will
You know,
write that
I'm
loan.
talking
This is for you. If you want a loan that's 13 years, 23 years,
Tom,
15
are
years.
you on that site, Gramophobia?
Whatever the term, they'll do it. It's a flexible term.
Gramophobia.
Loans.com.
No, I've never seen it.
That's what
I'll tell them.
That's what you get all this information about
State of and what I
technology.
learned. Thanks so much, Krista. See ya. Bye. They do. They got a bunch of states they cover. They're pretty big, aren't they, Compass?
Who's that, B&N?
No, Compass.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Wink and Wink can give you bankruptcy protection if you're in debt and need help during this pandemic, or you're planning on bankruptcy, or they can even help you get around bankruptcy if you can do some settlements. But whatever it is, Wink and Wink. Consult them. Don't make stupid choices and cash in IRAs and all that. Some money is exempt. You get to keep. Some things you get to keep. You have to know the difference. And please call them, winkandwink.com, if you're in financial trouble, 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com. Okay, so let's talk about defective work from Lennar Builders, from Jim. Meanwhile, beware of Carpio Landscaping, who doesn't seem to be paying for concrete work at one job, and the guy's getting leaned. He's going to try to work that out. Remember that name, Carpio Landscaping. And also the bad hand sanitizers. I wish I had something else to tell you, but it kind of makes it easy for me in that every single one so far on the list, every single one. And I'm going through right now. Let's see, I'm on page 9, Mexico. I'm just for the hell of it, I'm going to keep going. Page 10, Mexico. I'm looking for one other country, just one. One other country. There's some in Ohio called Blossom. And then there's one in the USA, Tri-Cleanse. So there are a couple here I found. Yep. Now let's see. On page 12, Mexico. Oh, man. Okay. Anyway, 303-713-8255 to the phones. Jim, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, Tom?
Good, Jim. What? Do you have a new Lennar home?
I do. It's a year old, and I've had a lot of trouble with the builder getting work done under the warranty work.
Did you document it? So
on our concrete.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yes, we got tons of emails. So anyway, I had the service rep out today, and before that, I had a company out here, Mudjacking Company out here, that did our driveway and our landing to our steps to the entrance to our house. And they worked on it, drilled it, mudjacked it, and the guy told me straight up that it's going to fail because they failed compaction. Their structural engineer was out here. He also made the statement and said, yeah, they don't bring us out to do the compaction on the landscaping in the driveway. So today he came out and looked at it, and he made the comment, we're not going to warranty it, yet it's separating a crack and it's still sinking. And I don't know if I can go anywhere with this or not.
Well, let's find out. Why did he say they would not warranty it? You're talking about the driveway right now specifically, right?
The driveway and the walkway leading to the front entrance of the house.
What is going on? They're cracking?
Yes. Well, I got a major crack between the first step and the landing. It keeps separating, and it has a cross slope of more than 2%. And he said, well, that isn't warranted work. I said, you guys, you had a company out here that tried correcting it, and why are you telling me it's still not warranted?
Well, Jim, is it on the warranty or not, concrete work?
Yes, it's on there. They were out here. They fixed it once before.
Okay.
Yes, it's on there.
But
within that year, and it's...
Yep. No, I mean, you can show them where it's in the warranty, the concrete work.
Yes.
Then why is he saying it's not part of the warranty?
He said it's not bad enough.
It's not.
That's exactly what his statement was.
Okay. Other than the step on that front part, the steps, what else what's happening in the driveway?
It's sinking. It's toward the front by the garage. It's now draining into the garage. It slopes in the garage. But he didn't have any comment on that.
None at all. He just said what? Nothing?
Nothing. And we have other major issues that are going on. This is just the most recent one right now. I mean, there's a laundry list of things with this builder, even in this community, that people are just getting frustrated with. And
okay.
that's just satisfaction. We're not going to do it.
Is there an arbitration clause in your contract if you have a disagreement? Because sometimes there is.
I'd have to look at that.
All right. I'm going to have Deputy Dan. He has dealt with builders before. Let's get to the bottom of it first. Listen, they don't like doing concrete work because I'll tell you why. They write the contracts and the warranties, I'm just warning you, Jim, to exclude most problems. In other words, it might not be big enough or technically moved enough. There are certain things they write into the contract. Dan will take a look at it. But we need to examine that first before we contact Lennar. Lennar Homes is like any other builder. They want to do as least amount as they have to in warranty. It's not a big secret. So hang on. Daphne, get this information to Deputy Dan. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So as you heard, I'm going through hand sanitizers. I'm trying to do the best job I can summing these up. And I'm not done yet. I'm still going to make a list to publish on our social media and on my Instagram, Real Tom Martino. The problem is I went through everyone, and honest to goodness, most everyone is Mexico. There's a couple not from Mexico. Is it safe to say if it's in Mexico it's bad? Yeah, it is. I'm sorry to say that, but that's safe to say. So I don't mean anything by it other than to warn you. We have more coming up.
Clear. Nothing this break. You're good.
Do I bother?
I don't think you even care about.
This report is
Do I keep the list?
American Financing.
Why does it matter if they're from Mexico?
Well, what I mean is that's easier to say rather than, I'm saying, why just, why should I bother why don't I just do them? Why do I have to, in other words, why do I have to list every one of them?
Right. Yeah.
Just say Mexico.
Well, I bet you because then you're broad brushing almost like I'm sure there's probably some good ones from Mexico, too.
See, that's what I'm wondering. I don't know. I, honest to God, don't know because how would I know that?
Well, you don't because you're just getting the bad ones.
Refinance your mortgage and save $1,000 or more each month without restarting your term. It only takes 10 minutes to get started when you choose American Financing.
It's so ridiculous. Every one of them is Mexico. I have Cleaner, Urbane.
To make state government work for the people, we need to end corruption. That starts with getting all the facts about official misconduct. Colorado's Independent Ethics Commission investigated former Governor John Hickenlooper for accepting private jet trips and luxury limo rides. The commission found Hickenlooper guilty of breaking the law. Even worse, Colorado taxpayers got stuck with the bill for Hickenlooper's defense. Hickenlooper's high-cost Denver lawyer cost us more than $133,000. But taxpayers still don't have all the facts about Hickenlooper's actions in office. Thanks to a loophole, 91 alleged Hickenlooper ethics violations were never investigated. Close the ethics loophole. Sign the petition at www.uniteforco.org and show your support for changing Colorado's ethics law. Stop corruption in Colorado government and protect taxpayers. Paid for by Unite for Colorado. www.uniteforco.org.
Maybe sending you a warning. I have ordered that numbness, pain, and sores that won't heal are signs of peripheral artery disease, which, left untreated, can result in limb amputation and shortened life expectancy. The good news is that each year, modern vascular saves thousands of patients from amputation using innovative outpatient procedures. And now, modern vascular has a clinic in Florida. Early detection can be life-saving. Visit modernvascular.com today to get an easy online quiz for your evaluation.
Hey there, Dan Zucchini ordered Dunlap kitchens and baths for this awards. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on a beautiful new kitchen for that awesome bath you always wanted. Right, Tom?
Of course, Dad. With our unique cabinet resurfacing, they'll get that beautiful new kitchen, and without the messy, expensive replacement, and in a shorter time, too.
Well, you got that right, Tom, but if it all
build up and bottom up first-rate quality. And let's not forget that very special that. What about that? Well, hey, turning leaky, moldy, smelly baths into awesome rooms, that's what we do. Whether it's a tub to shower conversion or a whole new 5-piece bath, our family business will make it special, just like we've done for decades. Okay, huh? So folks, give us a call and see what our family can do for your family. Kitchens, baths, counters, and covers, and we can replace the windows and doors. You have our order of future right at 303-722-2295, 800-362-8370, or drhi.com.
The Daily Zeitgeist is a podcast from the world's smartest and funniest comics and writers. It gets you caught up on the news without grinding you down.
There's going to be like simultaneous threads of history that are coming together at once.
How about Paragon on that, Tom?
Yeah, let's flip through all the history at once.
What's that?
You think they'd be a good one?
Live through all the history at once challenge.
Twice a day, they
Do you want to call him?
Yeah.
to know about American culture without
He's doing super good. He's doing great. It's all because of this show.
I absolutely love my dog.
He said he might have to hire a few people.
Tell him I could do. You say you don't have to
remember.
You don't have to imagine how good it would be if he does an article on it,
Just look at all that. And that was from just one.
or he can do it. But let me know. I'm going to leave that one to you then.
Okay.
I'll put it down on this list.
All right, well, I got in touch with B&N Asphalt.
Oh, they advertise a lot.
Well, he said that he was giving me a bunch of excuses. I said, look, call Buzz, and you make a date to be there in the next 10 days, and then we'll get off your case.
Tell them Buzz is making a buzz on the radio.
That's right. So I think if they get out there in the next 10 days, that would be reasonable.
Who can help you find the tech that's just right. That's 877-ASK-DEL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
Wow, over 25 years of lifting sinking concrete across the Front Range. Brian again with advanced smudge jacking. Traditional techniques that last, guaranteed. Advanced
What are you going to do with that with our guy?
I was going to give him a call here and get his warranty information.
Okay, it's at 3 p.m. on KHOW. If you want to learn how to make money in the stock market, the Trading Group Show, Sundays at 3, or call 8.
Back in 30 seconds, Tom.
For a free demo.
All right, well, say it.
If you want it, you can have it, Doc.
I got this stuff.
Get her done. Bring her home. Whatever. Let's do it.
Get the hell off.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
For a limited time, save $7 per gallon on Benjamin Moore Rico Select. QIRYS.com to print coupons. Sky Race, your neighborhood paint store since 1899.
Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show, 303-713-TALK. We have found so many bad hand sanitizers. I will be putting a list up at referrallist.com on the Facebook page, and also my Instagram, Real Tom Martino. It's just serious. It's amazing how many poisonous hand sanitizers there are, and I found all of the recalls except for a few are in Mexico. I mean, I would safe to say, I swear to God, if it's made in Mexico, I'm not using it, and it's just the way it is. And there's only a few made in America that are bad. It's just the way it turns out. Let's go. Oh, we don't. Good. So I can finish up. I'm going to tell you what they are here. Okay. Now I did list them. Don't try to copy them all down, but just really quickly. Bloomin, B-L-U-M-E-N. Clara and Danver, Hello Kitty, Assured, Lumiskin, Next, Modessa, Herbacil, Earth's Amenities, DeGreen Advanced, Wave Hand, Be Safe Hand, Cleanse with a K and a Z, Urbane, Parabola, Brits, Purity, Scent Theory, Command Gel, Enliven, Born Basic, Green Frog, Mystic Shield, and Andes. Those are all made in Mexico. There are many more, but those are the most popular ones. The ones made in America that were found to be bad: Tri-Cleanse,
Leiper's Fork. What the hell does that mean? I don't know. Light and Foamy and Foamy IQ. Those were American made. So this is pretty serious stuff, folks, and we are going to post this and get it done. Now, the listener called and said he works in concrete and says that track builders get the cheapest pours, the cheapest mixes, the cheapest people to do the concrete. And he's right. They don't use the best stuff in the world for tract homes. They just don't. And then they write the warranties to exclude a lot of the problems. Like if you're getting movement, it has to be like a movement of a few inches. Or if you have a crack, it's got to be a certain width before they take action. And many times, by the time it gets that big, you're out of warranty. And it doesn't count if it started in warranty. You have to have the actual problem that exceeds the warranty within the warranty period. So, by the way, David was wrong who called and said he knew what kind of car I had. He said I bought my own Mercury. That's not right. I inherited from my mom my very first car. It was a piece of garbage. It was a boat. It was a giant boat, and it was a Cadillac. It was a Pontiac Catalina. A Pontiac Catalina. And I think I know it was in the 60s. A Pontiac Catalina. It might have been a 63.
Tom?
What?
My first car was a periwinkle blue Gremlin with white interior. Ugh.
Really? Now, this Pontiac Catalina, it doesn't look like... No, it wasn't a 63. Daphne, those are nice cars, though, that you had. That was kind of cool, you know.
A Gremlin?
Yeah.
Oh, I get so...
No, it was
Rick
cool.
just laughs
cool
about
meaning,
it.
You know, cool meaning cool, like, you know, different.
It had stripes on it.
My Pontiac Catalina had two lights in the front that were parallel on each side. Two on each side, parallel, not vertical. And I can't seem to find it. But anyway, my second car was a Saab. Oh, God. A 3-cylinder Saab. I think it was a 3-cylinder. It was the craziest. You had to add oil to the gas. It didn't have its own oil reserve. That was a 2-cycle engine. Anyway, I'm Tom Martino. We're out of time. We'll be back here tomorrow. Tell people about the show, and of course use referrallist.com for help, information, and referrals.
Clear. Tom Martino.
Thanks, brother. I'll be talking to you off the air.
1956 Pontiac convertible.
56?
What year?
Wow.
What year Cadillac did I have if it had the?
Well, I bought it in. I remember when I bought it.
Okay, see y'all.